One. Welcome back to
Oh
the
my
Words of the Nerds
gosh.
podcast. We're actually live right now. If you're listening on audio or if you're watching this on replay, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, if you're watching this on audio, we are ranking phase 5 and 6 by anticipation. We are joined. Me and Charlie are joined by a very special guest, Ben. Ben, how you feeling today?
Special?
Special. Whoa, 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 whoa. I thought I was the guest, special guest.
You're the top G.
I'm the top G, of course. Yeah, you don't talk back to me, Charlie.
Oh,
Stay-
okay. Sorry.
stay in
My
your
bad.
lane. Guardians is staying last place for all three of us.
Oh, okay. That's my cue.
no.
I'm joking. No, I'm excited for this. This is gonna be fun. I know that a lot of people have been talking about all of these projects and giving their thoughts on them over the last couple of days since they were announced. So I'm looking forward to getting into this and seeing all of our disagreements. But hey, there is a possibility that we all have the exact same list. That would be crazy.
That would
It's not
actually.
It's not gonna happen. I'll be honest. It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
no way.
And
I'm
Charlie, Charlie, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Chat. Hello, Dobin. Nice to see you, buddy. It's been a while, man. I hope you're doing good. Champ, thank you for coming through. Legui, brother, as always. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you all for showing up. I think it was Aiden's story that might have brought some of you guys here. So Aiden's really plugging out here.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
I'm
fun.
doing good. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to blow these kids out of the water with my clearly objective list.
Can I at the end of our list, can we please hold a vote?
Yes.
That'd be sick.
For us and for everybody in chat? You're not allowed to vote for yourself, obviously, but just
Yeah.
see who generally gets the most love.
Wait,
We'll
should we
see.
even vote in it?
Oh,
Because
you
like
could-
I don't want to vote for your guys. It's like no.
but if we all vote for each other, then it doesn't really, bring it. It doesn't bring it down at all,
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
true.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so we're doing this live. This is actually pretty fun. We already have some people in here, like Charlie shouted out, Dobin, Champ, gotta love Champ, Batista, Legui, what's up, man? Yeah, we got some supporters in here. We're gonna try and do more live podcast episodes. We'll see how good that is. My family's loud back there watching Family Feud, so we'll see. Usually I could just cut it out, but you getting the raw cut right now. So as I said in the beginning, we are ranking phase 5 and 6 by our anticipation, from least to most anticipated, and we don't know each other's lists right now, so it'll be interesting. We'll give a little bit of a description on why we have it at the place we have it and whatnot. So yeah, shall we get NLE from the Comic-Con live stream? What's
Yeah,
up?
what's up, man?
NLE Memish. Yes, we remember you, brother. Much love. So shall we get started? Who wants to? I guess I'll go first since I'm first on the list.
Are we going like
Mm.
whoever starts goes 16-1, or are we doing like
Oh no,
everybody's
just
16?
every 16. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want
Alright.
chat to notice. I just want it to be known. Ben made the thing that you're seeing on the screen right now, and he has not moved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 off the bottom of all of our lists. We did not choose to put those there. I just want to clarify that.
Disrespectful.
I don't think it was my choice. I made this, and that's just like where everything ended up, to be honest. So
NLE, bro, thank you so much,
Dude,
bro.
yeah,
that means
thank
so
you
much
much,
love,
much,
man. Much
man.
love.
Oh,
Thank you for showing up. Appreciate
that's
you. man.
awesome. That's
Also,
awesome. Thank you, bro.
just for everybody who's listening to this after the fact or listening on Spotify, because I know we're live on YouTube, what we have on screen right now, which you could watch the VOD if you wanted to, is we have a column for each of us, with each of our names labeled at the top, so that we can go 1 through 16 and compare our rankings to one another. That is what we have in front of us. It's going to make it easier for us to discuss this, just for those listening, so you're aware kind of what we have situated.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, so we have our list, and if you're listening on Spotify, you can listen on audio. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you do, however, want to see our lists and how it turns out and compare the three, I'm sure there will be a time frame you can skip to at the very end, and it'll have the full list. If you just want to listen on audio, come back and look at the list on YouTube. So I think we should get started. And I will go first at my 16th. Now, I will preface this. Yeah, you're right, Dobin. Guardians of the Galaxy is getting disrespected. And I want you to
Yes.
know me and Charlie have nothing to
Everybody's
do with
turning on
that.
Ben.
Just
Me and Charlie
wait
Yes.
have
till
nothing to
I
do with
rank
that.
it. Wait till I rank it to
Okay.
disrespect me.
All right. At my number 16 spot, the least anticipated out of all of these, and this has nothing to do with the show. I feel like we haven't gotten a ton of news yet. I feel like the more we get, the more we understand about it, it will move up my list. And it's my least anticipated, but look at all the fire we have on the screen right now. So at my number 16 spot is Ironheart. And once again, that's nothing. Easy Jaden, what's up, man? Thank you for dropping in. That is nothing against the show. I just feel like we don't have a lot of information right now. There's a lot of other things that I think could be more unique in front of it. Ironheart sits at my 16th. Charlie, were you making some faces? What's up?
You just broke me, man. What is wrong with you? That's insane.
I'm sorry, bro.
After that Wakanda
It's
Forever
that's what I'm
trailer.
saying. It's awesome. I still feel like we don't have enough to where I can fully put it above others on this list.
Okay. That's fair
I
enough.
respect it.
That's
fair enough.
my only thing. I think it'll be awesome. I'm excited for it. But compared to everything else, literally what the
Dude, see,
I'm
Anna
sorry,
Lee
bro.
gets
I'm
it,
sorry.
bro.
I'm sorry, Anna Lee. All right, Charlie, why don't you show us your 16? You're talking all this about me showing your 16.
Okay, this one, I really don't even think this one's a hot take. I really thought Aiden was gonna say this one, and I'm obviously very disappointed with him for not saying it. So, this just doesn't really seem to have a lot of promise for you. But I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll end up surprising all of us. But Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
I saw it coming.
Get at the very bottom, bro. I was never one of those people that was all on the Agatha train, okay? With WandaVision, like I like WandaVision, but I didn't care about Agatha. And her theme song is dope, okay? It was Agatha, like it's catchy, but like come on, bro. Agatha, she don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say she doesn't need her own show because obviously they have a plan for it for something. But it's just I don't care about her character, me personally. It wasn't like she was a better villain than Hayward. I'll give her that, but it's just
Wong over
bad
Agatha.
taste in my mouth, bro. Dude, Annalee's on fire today, bro. He gets it.
This actually is a good point right here. In my opinion, Thunderbolts and Ironheart are on the same wavelength. I can see that. I just feel like we don't have enough right now, and in order for me to put it above some of the things that are like at the bottom of my list as well. Anyways, Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, and I hope this gets me some points. I agree with Mr. Charlie. I had it at the bottom. I thought her character was fine for WandaVision, but her own show, I don't think anybody really asked for it. And like, I'm interested to see like why are they even making the show, but I feel like her little twist towards the end of WandaVision, her being there all along. I've never been a fan of like the later part of the show twist villain for Marvel shows, so that kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And also, I feel like she was utilized fine. I don't need to see her anymore in the Marvel universe. There's nothing there that really excites me at this point. So it was pretty obvious to be dead last.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with that, which is why I have it at my 15th. The only reason I have it above Ironheart is just because I feel like they could do a lot more with it, with the magic side of the MCU. And while, like, we don't even know, maybe it doesn't involve her character that much. Maybe it's, a red herring. Maybe there's something deeper to it that sets up the next step we're taking in the magical realm of the MCU. So that's the only reason I have it above Ironheart. I feel like they have all the character set. They have everything from WandaVision they can work off of. So we know a lot of what we can expect. And they're playing with the side of the MCU that's kind of new to us, but that they can also build on and give us a lot more than they can with Ironheart, in my opinion. So while I fully agree with y'all, that's just where it sits for me and my reasoning of why it sits above Ironheart. So yeah, completely agree. It's on my 15th.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my 15th, It's I feel like kind of piggybacks off of Aiden's statement about not knowing so much about what it's going to entail. So my number 15 is Armor Wars.
Okay.
I would have it much higher, but the only thing we know about it at this point, unless you've read the comic line, obviously, is that Rhodey's in it. There's been people theorizing that Punisher could be in it. I don't see how Punisher fits into that at all, me personally. But I mean, who knows? I don't know what it's going to be about. I'm sure it's going to have some political element to it, maybe. But as of right now, all we know is that Rhodey's in it, and I think there's a executive producer on it or something because he had to go on social media and confirm that it's still being made. Even
Yeah,
Marvel
exactly.
themselves didn't even say that, So it's not worrisome in that way for me, but it's just like I want to know more about it because I'm excited. I love Rhodey, but I don't know anything about this, and so it just doesn't excite me too much.
Do you want to know a little bit more about it? Because here's the thing.
Know more about it?
Yes, when they did, I forget which event it was, but when they were announcing a ton of shows, announcing like actors who were returning, I think it was
it Investor Day?
It might have been Investor Day. When they were announcing all of that, they announced Armor Wars, and they announced who was returning for it, and they described it as more of like a kind of political thriller about what happens when really advanced tech gets into the wrong hands. Is how they described it.
I actually kind of remember that now that you're saying it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's still number 15 though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I wasn't trying to convince you. I was just,
Right,
okay.
Ben?
For my 15th, I actually also have Ironheart.
Yeah, Charlie.
And here's my thing. I feel like that will probably be higher after watching Black Panther. But right now, I don't know how, just based on a trailer when we had a brief reference, I'm supposed to like absolutely be in love with this character yet.
Sheesh.
After the movie, I think that'll be the case. But for right now,
so you don't have emotions. Simple. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. No, I just agree with Aiden. Like after Wakanda Forever, I'm sure that it will change. But for right now, I don't know enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to. This is from what NLE says in the chat. He says, I completely understand. The movies/TV shows here in these phases are based on information or plot, and the less info is the less hype, unless it is a big film, such as some of these other ones that we have that are in phase 6 and announced. And I completely agree with that, because there's been a lot of these past shows like Miss Marvel. A lot of people were like, well, what's that? Like, I'm not even going to watch this. Before we got a trailer, they were hating on it. And it comes out and it's better than some of the phase 4 projects that we have or phase 4 TV shows that we've gotten so far. But since it doesn't have a big name attached to it or a big brand attached to it, it doesn't get that hype. And so that's exactly what's happening here with Ironheart. It could come in and shock all of us. It could be the best thing MCU TV shows have ever put out.
It will be.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, and if it does, and that's what I'm saying, the only reason I have it right there right now is because we don't have anything else confirmed other than she's in Wakanda Forever. And even then, that's still cool. That's still cool, like plot information. But you can only go off so much. Which brings me to my 14th spot.
Yes,
But I have Armor Wars. It's right back to the same thing. I do think it's better than I'm anticipating it more than my 15 and 16 spot for exactly what Ben said. What happens when the most advanced tech on Earth, besides Wakanda, falls into the wrong hands, and about where we can go from there, and finding out the real power brokers, and if it is just Sharon Carter, and how that, all these things mixed in on top of like Rhodey, but also a little bit of what Ben or Charlie said about how you just don't know much about it. And all you know is Rhodey, and then a producer that we only know because he was like, hey, this show's still being made, by the way. So that's my precedent for that. I'm pretty sure that one could also be really cool. It's just, it falls back into the same thing of we don't really know much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm my number 14. I wouldn't be surprised if I catch some heat for this. But like I can also see it like not catching heat for it. It's nothing like too crazy, I think. But Blade. I put Blade at number 14.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Because listen. Vampires are so no cuss word lame to me, bro. They are so lame to me. I can't like Blade's cool. Sure, I love Mahershala Ali. That's my one like saving grace for this is Mahershala Ali because I know he can act, bro. I know he can act, and I'm excited to see him act. But I don't care about vampires, man. I watched all the Twilight movies. Don't care. I play vampire video like there's a battle royale vampire game. Played it. It's cool, but I don't like vampires now. It's the MCU. Believe in no, I don't not believe in them. I just like I don't like them. Like they're just lame. I think zombies are cooler than vampires. You know,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just I don't know, man. Like
Wow.
I don't know how to describe people. WTF? But you know, like I have hopes. I have high hopes for it, you know, and I think it's gonna be really cool, and it's gonna. Like the supernatural side of the MCU is what I'm least excited about, me personally. Like
Wow.
I like Marshall Ali and I like Kit Harrington, but I really just don't know if I'm gonna care about it, and I hope they give me a reason to. But just right now, it's like, ugh.
Wow, Charlie, that shocked me a
Gee
lot.
whiz.
Hey, I gotta come in with the hard hitters because you.
Hey, hey, you're making this content right here, so
And
I'm
you're
all
making
for it.
our list look better, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, Dobin coming in with the heat. To be honest, I understand Cubson's explanation, but I don't understand why it's at 14.
Dobin, you just love
That's
vampires. Get out of
Listen,
here.
what you have at like 13, 12, 11 that you put above it is going to determine, you know,
yeah.
it's
What?
going to show just how ridiculous of a take it is.
Okay. Bet.
We'll see.
Bet on
Okay.
that. Bet
My
on
number
that.
14, I might have a hot take as well, but I have explanations, okay? Mine actually makes sense.
Oh, I already see
Like
it.
I
I
didn't
already
just
see
give a
it.
2-minute explanation.
The Marvels.
Oh my, get out.
No, okay, listen.
What?
I have not finished Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I can
Immediately
base this
invalid.
off of is the Captain Marvel movie, which in my opinion was not great. Her appearance in Endgame, which I didn't really like her character. That is the only thing I know, and that Kamala is going to be in the movie and Monica Rambeau. So like there's not a ton that I have to base it off of. I know that I need to finish Miss Marvel to understand where the story is potentially going in the movie, because it's clear that it's going to be like a direct continuation. But I don't know what that looks like, so I can't base it off of anything from that. And based on not being a fan of Captain Marvel's character, it's just lower down on my list. And I know I need to finish the show. I will finish the show. It'll probably make it go up the list. But right now, I just can't.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be hard whenever I get to my spot for Miss Marvel or for the Marvels to not explain why I have it as high as I do. And, just to not get into spoilers, but interesting. I was kind of expecting that just because I know you haven't finished it, and I feel like if you did finish it, you would kind of be like, okay, I'm kind of excited for this now. So, um, I'm willing to give that one a teensiest bit of a pass. So, at my number 13, this is where things kind of start to get interesting because from here on out, I feel like you have a lot of the shows that, we do understand and that we do know a little bit about and everything. So putting this one this low is kind of a disservice to how like excited I actually am for this show, and that is Echo. Um, I liked her character in Hawkeye, I believe it was. What was she in?
Yeah.
Hawkeye? Yeah, Hawkeye. It's been so long. I actually did like her character. I thought she was pretty cool. There was some spots where I was like, I just didn't feel like she was really needed. I am also interested in the fact that this could bring in Daredevil and kind of give him that boost into his new show that we know is coming and into other MCU projects such as She-Hulk. If she is in this, and overall just kind of like the culture and the heritage. I believe she's Native American, so it'd be cool to kind of get away from some of that and get to learn more about her. And also, how are her and Daredevil going to communicate? I don't know, but I'm interested to see that as well because he's blind and she's deaf. it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something seeing them two communicate. So I'm interested to see all of that and how they go about everything on there and all the characters they bring in. There's just so much good stuff on here that it has to fall at 13 for me. And I will say real quick, NLE back with the heat. I understand, Ben. Yes, I'm not uninterested, just unmotivated because Captain Marvel, in my opinion, feels like a character that has huge potential, but just thrown in for Endgame. Not just you. I think we can all agree on that one.
Yep.
Charlie? Oh,
I'm just gonna go to my number 13. You know, this one I feel like I have a basis for this one. You guys aren't gonna like it, I don't think, but I have a basis for it. It's not like I don't think this is too bad. Loki season 2 is my number 13. Bro, what? You're gonna tell me Loki was a groundbreaking show? Get out of here, man. It didn't matter until episode 5 and 6. Episode 6 was phenomenal. I'm not saying it's like Moon Knight. Moon Knight was garbage. Let's stop playing around. Moon Knight was horrible. But Loki actually had some substance to it right up until episode 3. Episode 3 took a turn for the boring and the terrible ending that it had. Like, that was not a cliffhanger. That was just another rushed Miss Marvel ending. Ben doesn't even understand that because he hasn't seen it yet. Ben, quit adding TF to my stuff. I swear to God.
I'll stop adding it when you stop hitting us with these trash takes.
No, I'm 100% like it. I love what it did for Loki's character, and I love that it's introducing us to Kang, but it's also kind of not, though, because I guarantee we're getting a different version of Kang that's going to be reintroduced to us in Quantumania. I would be extremely surprised if there's even some sort of a small reference to the Kang that is in Loki. I almost said Quantumania again. I'd be very, very surprised because not to say that it doesn't matter. Obviously it matters. I mean, Kevin Feige himself said that the universe breaking apart at that moment, like, that's what led to letting No Way Home happen or letting it be able to happen. But it just seemed, I mean, again, I think episode 6 was really phenomenal. I still hold it as the best finale of all of the Disney Plus shows. I think it got everything done beautifully. I mentioned earlier about Agatha and how I never really cared about her as much as everybody else did, like on TikTok and stuff. I never cared about Loki as much as everybody else did and stuff like that. But with this show, it made me care about Loki like that. I love that speech that he's giving to Sylvie at the end. He's saying, I don't care about the throne. I just want to make sure you're okay. I just want you to be okay. I loved that. And so I'm excited to see more of Loki, and I want more of that Loki. Everything else, I don't much care for. Mobius, okay. I like Owen Wilson, but I mean, I feel like the whole arc that he had was cool in Loki, realizing that he had been lied to this whole time, that the TVA wasn't what he was told that it was. Like, that was cool. But where else are we going with him? I'm sure they'll show me, but that's the thing. It's at number 13 until I can see where they're gonna go with it.
What's up, Cam Fost? Yeah,
Cam.
I mean, I'll get to my Loki stuff when I have it on my ranking, which won't be anytime
For
soon.
a while.
I understand your take on it. Like I get what you mean. I personally didn't feel that way. I'll just real quick. I'll just say, like, I don't know, what Loki did was so brand new at the moment, and it was just so awesome seeing all these different places and all these set pieces that they were doing, and just it was like a mystery for like the first 2 episodes where you're just like trying to solve a murder mystery with them, just to find out it's Sylvie, and it's another Loki behind it, which was predictable in my opinion, but still it was cool. And even that ending of episode 2 where she like just looks at him and then walks off. I don't know. There's just a lot of really cool things, and a lot of cool things that they did and tested the waters with Loki. And you can do that because that's the kind of character he is, and with the whole TVA stuff. And it gave us probably one of the best villains that we're going to see in Kang and He Who Remains and whatever you want to call him. I don't know, man. I'll go more in depth later, but like I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. I respect your decision. I just don't agree with it. But hey, that's what we're here for. Charlie's giving us the content. I will say we've agreed on almost every episode that we've been on for the most part. So this is fresh. It's nice.
That's true. That's true.
I will say that I hated Loki the first season for the first like 3 episodes. I hated it because of what they were doing with how they were presenting the timekeepers, where they determine everything that's happening, because of the whole like getting rid of free will. All sacrifices mean nothing. It's just decided by a higher power. Hated it. It ruined like everything for me. So then obviously that wasn't how the show ended up, and it changed after like episode 4 or whatever. But I really liked it, and I will explain more later as well, but I think there's a reason why we're getting season 2 of Loki directly after Quantumania. I think that there will be a lot of story significance leading up to Kang Dynasty in the future. So we'll talk more about that later. Yeah. But I will get into my number 13, which my number 13, I feel like I'm just copying at this point, is Echo.
Okay, there we go.
But my thing is, I was a fan of the Hawkeye show. I liked it, and the character was fine. I think it'll be an interesting and different show because obviously with her and what was she couldn't hear, right? That was the whole thing.
She's deaf, yeah.
She's deaf. So I feel like that's going to be interesting, especially having the potential mix up with like Matt Murdock not being able to see. There could be some really interesting things in the show. It's kind of like Agatha. I don't feel like she necessarily needed a show at all.
Yeah.
But I'm interested enough to give the show a chance, and I liked the character enough to be like, okay, I want to see where they take this. Whereas with Agatha, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to see any more of her. So it's lower on the list, but I would say from here, I mean, I'm looking forward to everything, obviously. Just curious what they're going to do. But from this point forward is where it's like, I'm genuinely excited to see what they do with these shows and movies.
Yeah, I completely agree. Does she need her own show? We'll see. Maybe like that's the thing with these shows. They have characters attached to them, like Agatha and Ironheart and Echo, and like somewhat of Armor Wars. But it's more of like what potential do they have to change what we know about the MCU or boost the MCU forward? Like just like Miss Marvel. And Ben, like, you won't know because it's a spoiler for the last episode, but it's like you go into Miss Marvel and you're like, okay, what does this show have to offer? Like, is it just a fun Disney Channel show? And then that end hits you and you're like, oh, the MCU's changed forever, something like that. So that's also like my kind of thing about like ranking these. Dobin. Yeah, our boy's feeling real disrespected right now. He's been quiet. He didn't even want to comment on that.
What do I gotta say? I ain't got nothing to say about love. I'll give my
No, I'm messing with you.
No, I don't care. Troyer's here.
What's up, Troyer? Real quick, I'll touch on this.
Spider-Man had America Chavez in No Way Home like they originally planned. Would it have worked?
She was actually supposed to bring in Toby and Andrew at first.
Yeah.
That'd have been interesting. I don't know if it would have worked. It would have been kind of weird throwing in a new character.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot going on in that movie already, and then throwing in another like new character, it would just seem like a bit much.
Plus, if she brought in Toby and Andrew, people would have said that she was just introduced for like plot convenience.
Yeah.
Charlie, you got the respect by your picks. So you got the respect now. We love you, Charlie. We love you.
I don't care. I'm sticking by my. I have reasoning for them.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. We respect each other's opinions around here. For my number 12 spot, this is kind of where we make the jump. This is where we make the jump to like all the big spots and all the fun things that we're excited for. At my number 12 spot, I have the Marvels. Now, it might look a little bit low. It's just at this point, we have so much other things that are that much better above it. This is nothing against the show. I'm still super excited for it. I'm still super pumped to see this. And I think November next year, I'm excited to see where they take Kamala's character after the ending. Yes, hashtag respect for Charlie. I'm excited to see where they take Kamala from here, especially that post-credit scene. How we get like this movie might pick up exactly where we left off in the Marvel or in Miss Marvel. So I'm excited to see that, see them bring some of Miss from Kamala's family in the mix and all that fun stuff. So I have Miss Marvels. I have the Marvels at 12.
Troyer asked, do you guys think we're gonna see Toby and Andrew in Secret Wars? I think so. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. If not Toby, then definitely Andrew. But I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
I think we'll see both though.
Yes.
But if we had to choose one, Andrew for sure.
And not Tom.
Oh my god. Imagine.
Okay. This doesn't really need an introduction. They already talked about it. My number 12 is Echo. I feel like they summed it up pretty well. I mean, obviously I'm excited to see Daredevil and Kingpin back. Just because like I want to see how they're done not in the Hawkeye way, you know? Just to see how different it might be. But I'm very interested, especially after watching the deleted scenes of Hawkeye, knowing like what could have been done with Echo's character. I would love to see more of her and more of like her confliction. That's not a word. But you know, her conflicted nature after finding out like the guy that she was being raised by essentially is the reason she had to be raised by him, you know, because he killed her dad. I just think it's an interesting and she's also found out her brother almost betrayed her because like he was the one who had to actually do it. And I think it leaves her in an interesting place. And so that's why I put it higher than Loki and all the other ones, because I'm just more interested in both Daredevil and Kingpin because I love the Daredevil show. But then also I'm just excited to see where they take Echo's character from this point on, because I think it has a lot of interesting story potential.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Troyer, I will say I don't have Guardians at 1. That's just the mix of where everything's at. We're going from 16 up, so we're at 12 right now.
There we go.
That's our official ranking. Hey, but trust me, I got Guardians in a very comfortable spot.
Basically, everything above 12 right now at this very point is just like it's just chilling there until we put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, to keep cutting off your time. Let's just get to these. I wasn't really feeling Echo and Hawkeye, but I'm sure it'll be a decent show. Kingpin and Daredevil will most definitely boost a lot. Facts. Yeah. And I think, depending on what they can put together and a decent plot, I think it'll be fine. Okay, Ben, take it away.
Yeah, I also just wanted to add, talking about Echo, I think they're making this interesting storyline where we are introduced to Kingpin, introduced to Daredevil. We're going to have She-Hulk, Daredevils in that. Then we're going to have Echo, and then the Daredevil show ultimately. It's a really interesting like sub-line of characters that are being introduced to one another, and I kind of like where the story is headed and where it could go. Anyways, my number 12 is Armor Wars, which I noticed actually that Aiden and I have the exact same bottom 5, just slightly rearranged, which is interesting. I'm actually really excited for the possibilities of this show, because when they described it as kind of like a almost a political thriller, like my thought was like Winter Soldier type of vibes, like a Winter Soldier mixed with Iron Man, obviously. Plus, I think Rhodey deserves some respect. So
yeah,
I am really excited for the show. I think it has a lot of potential, but I just don't know. So yeah, I am excited for it, though. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be dope, especially with all the potential they have and the toy box they have.
Delvin, you on the fast track to getting out of here, my boy. You on the fast track. Oh my god.
Charlie's just trying to be different, bro. This is not how it is. That's all he
Charlie,
does.
You got played at 14. Dude, Troyer, listen, I don't like vampires, man. Vampires are lame.
Oh man.
Vampires are dumb, bro.
Oh,
you gotta be tripping.
Like I said, it just makes Aiden and I's lists look much better.
I like how Lee asked. Sorry to interrupt. But Annalie, he asked a while ago. I want to make sure we get to it. He asked if we've read the comic of Secret Wars, and I read half of it. I stopped reading it. I think Aiden just recently read it though.
Yeah.
But I read the old one, but not the new one, which I'm pretty sure this one's going to be more closely based on. I read like half of it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna admit something to you guys, and I've never said this ever. I have never read a comic book, and here's the thing: I didn't grow up reading comic books, and I don't understand people see like Secret Invasion coming out. I'm gonna read everything on it before I watch the movie. I feel like that kind of ruins it because you expect something, and then you could be disappointed, or you just know exactly what you're gonna get. Either way, it sucks in some capacity. So I hate reading comics about storylines that we're gonna get in actual movies or shows because I feel like that ruins it in one way or another.
yeah, that's
so
why I haven't read Invincible at all.
yeah, I was actually gonna do that. I was gonna buy all of the issues and read through all of it, but then I was like, one, it's a lot of money, and two, I think I'd rather watch the show. But I did read Secret Wars, and I did also read some Moon Knight comics before the show came out, just to get a feel on his character and like how he is in the comics, because I had no idea about who he was or what he was. So I decided to read some comics on him. But I did read Secret Wars. I will say, like, it's definitely not going to be anything like I feel like what they're doing with Avengers Secret Wars. Um, it's just you got to set up so much chess pieces. You have to establish the Fantastic Four, establish Doom, establish like their relationship, why they hate each other, and you have to do that in a couple of movies to get like a full accurate Secret Wars, which we know they're not going for full comic accuracy, but that's why I wanted to read it to get a feel about what it is. And so yeah, it was an awesome read. I feel like if you ever have time, you should definitely read it. It was so cool. There's so much amazing shots. I think at one point I actually have the Doctor Doom. He tells Thanos
Cool,
that he's a god, and because he has the Infinity Stones, and Thanos, Doctor Doom's like, "Well, do you have those Infinity Stones right now?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Then you're not God." And he reaches in his stomach and pulls his whole like spine and skull out and just leaves him there. One of the most coldest things I've ever seen. Anyways, I have Marvel Unlimited and only read Star Wars comics on it. I have Marvel Unlimited as well. I want to read a lot more Star Wars. I haven't read one comic book. I saw anything about comics to see with the new films. Yeah, bro. I mean, Marvel Unlimited, $10 a month. You can read about just as much comics as you want. I think it's pretty cool. All on your phone. Okay, my number 11 has to be, I don't know. I feel like I'll get some heat for this. Has to be Thunderbolts. It's not that I don't like it. It just with everything around it, what can you do? I'm very excited for it. Up until literally today, I didn't realize it was a movie and it wasn't a Disney Plus show. Don't know how I feel about that. Um, I feel like I'd rather it be a Disney Plus show. Wait, what's so funny?
Just the fact that you thought it was a TV show.
No, I really did because when they were announcing the phases or like the projects, I was like, oh, Thunderbolts, and everyone's been saying it might be a TV show, and so I was like, oh, it's a TV show. And today I was like, wait, there's no Disney Plus sign by it, so it's a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, that means it's a movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I think I just fantasized it in my head that it was there. I think it can work as a movie because we already have most of our pieces in form. Yelena, U.S. agent, maybe even Agatha if you want, and then so on and so forth. I'm super excited for it. However, everything on the slate in front of it, I'm just more excited for. And so, yeah, Thunderbolts at 11. Why?
Oh, sorry, I was reading chat.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
reading what Troyer said. I hope we get to see the Hulk, Wolverine, and Spider-Man trio at one point, dude. That would be so sick.
Jeez.
I agree,
Right,
Maddie. Wait, that's when he smiles. Hell yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's
so
actually funny that Troyer said that because somebody
I agree.
today, you know how I said that I've been doing a lot of like question videos where I just respond to people in videos. Somebody today asked me if I could do my top 3 variants that I wanted to see throughout the multiverse saga. And I recorded the video, but I haven't posted it. I'm going to post
taking
it
that
later.
idea right now. I'll be back.
Do it. It was fun. But I'll spoil one of my my takes is I wanted to see Edward Norton's Hulk back so that we could have like imagine the contrast between the two Hulks that we have had. Professor Hulk and then the 2008 Hulk. I think that would be legendary.
Yeah, I'm down
Yeah,
for that.
seeing some of the if we saw like some of the older Hulks, like in all the different coloring and different styles with all the Spider-Men together as well,
Dang.
like that would be sick.
Into the Hulkverse. Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm down for that too.
Charlie?
Yeah, my number 11 is Ironheart.
Oh,
Yeah, I after that Wakanda trailer, I know she didn't even get any dialogue or anything. Well, nobody got dialogue except for
Angela Bassett.
yeah, Angela Bassett. So which rightfully so, because that was like that's the only dialogue you
Such a
needed in that
beautiful,
trailer.
yeah.
But I'm just like, it's kind of weird to me too, because like I've always told Aiden, like on our podcast, like before we record or something, like Iron Man's death never was really that sad to me, and yet I'm like more excited to see his successor than he is, because he always tells me that Iron Man's death was sad for him. But I don't know, just something about seeing her in the trailer with Shuri just dapping each other up, and she's just going to work. I mean, obviously it's very on the nose. It's a literal iron heart that she hits out of the thing, but you know, I mean, it's still cool, and I mean, it kind of sucks that the Funko Pop got leaked of her Mark 1 suit, but I'm just like, I am so excited to see what she could build, and I already know there's going to be like, if she builds something that's cooler than Tony Stark, there's going to be so many little incels that are just mad, and crybaby little kids that are so mad.
Mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they're gonna say.
I just can't wait to see it, man. Like, I just think it's going to be really, really cool. And it's different, and I'm excited to see just how different it's going to be.
Excellent take, brother.
For my number 11, I'm going Thunderbolts as well.
Are you copying me or what? What's going on?
You guys
here?
are like, what the?
Listen, I mean, I told you I have my list on paper. You know, I'm not changing this list. This is my list. And yeah, for me, I like the pieces that are being put in place. I find it interesting that it's ending off phase 5. That felt weird because when they were announcing it, they announced it with a lot of significance. Like in Hall H, Kevin Feige was talking about phase 5, and then he said it's going to end off with this project, and like everything went to black, and they like had a logo reveal, kind of like they did for the Avengers films, which was a little confusing because it's like, is this movie going to be a lot more special and different than we think it is? And so there's a little bit more intrigue that I have with the movie, and I'm just curious what they're going to do with it. Then again, like Black Panther is ending off this phase, and I don't know that that's going to do anything particularly special, so I don't know. But I am excited for it.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, this might be like Avengers 4.5 or 4.25, you know, just with villains, and seeing Yelena and US Agent and whoever else they bring. I'm so sad that man, I'm blanking on his name, that he passed away, so that we don't get to see him as Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, because I feel like he would have definitely been in this lineup. I think his name was William Hurt. Yeah. So yeah, but definitely very excited for that. There's just so much fire above it. All right, let's see. Imagine seeing Edward Norton's Hulk team up with Andrew or Toby Spidey and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I would say Toby Spidey, and so like you can just give us like the OG, like Edward Norton, Toby, and Hugh Jackman, like that. As a kid, bro, oh, those were the ones.
You know who
Dude,
should play
actually imagine that. That'd be
Yeah.
insane. Because like as a kid, you're like, dude, I wish that these characters would come together. And obviously we have characters like that coming together in the MCU now. But then those versions of those characters that you always imagined as a kid coming together, they actually can come together.
You know who else should play a Wolverine variant? You guys know. Come on, you have to know. Come on. Carl Urban.
Oh, Carl Urban. Yeah. Charlie doesn't really like that.
I've never liked that one. I've never liked that. Nope.
Come on.
Me personally, I don't know.
Even just a variant?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't care about the MCU part of it. Excuse me. Because like obviously he couldn't play MCU just like normally. Like it'd have to be a variant version. But I don't know. I think he has the look for sure. Like he could pull off that weird hair that he's got, that Logan's got, pretty well. I don't know, man. Like I like Carl Urban, and I think he could do the anger part of it really well, but it's just I'm not in love with that idea. I don't know. I'm not in love with it.
Maybe Thunderbolts will have the crew of Hawkeye, Echo. I apologize if you hear that playing. Echo, Hulk, She-Hulk, Daredevil, U.S. Agent. Yeah, I actually like Echo in there. I actually like Echo in that lineup of Thunderbolts. I think that'd be dope. I really like this.
It might be like a mini Avengers film.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Avengers 4.25. You know, get James Gunn to direct it. Oh, that would be
That'd be
so
crazy.
heat, bro. All right, entering the top 10.
Top
Let me
10.
get to,
Top 10
and then some Carl Urban love.
has the rage for
All right,
Urban, yeah.
top 10. Let me pull my notes out real quick. Entering my number 10 spot, breaking the top 10 for most anticipated, has to be Secret Invasion. I just think the whole premise of this show is awesome. I love seeing evil scrolls. I think their powers are so interesting, turning into other people, invading the hierarchy of power, to quote The Rock. But like imagine sneaking into Department of Damage Control. Like I think Marvel fan was telling us the other day on the live stream. Imagine sneaking into these top organizations with evil plans. And that's another reason why I'm so excited for the Marvels, because getting Secret Invasion and then seeing how that also leads into the Marvels and the whole scroll aspect and stuff like that. I think even that could be cool. Maybe the scrolls have even invaded, hierarchy of powers in other planets, and they have to go handle that as well. I don't know. The whole premise of the show is awesome. Amelia Clark is in it. Kobe Smulders is in it. I'm so excited. Even Rhodey, for some reason, is in there. But yeah, we could even get some cameos of our other Avengers and stuff, and they can be like, "Hey, they've been scrolls this whole time." And so,
calm
you
down,
know,
Soups. Calm down.
give me Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Secret Invasion. I love
Give
it.
me a cameo.
No hate to Soups, no hate to Soups. But yeah, Secret Invasion, top 10.
Oh my god, sorry. I keep forgetting that I go after Aiden, bro.
No, you're good.
Okay. My number 10. Yeah, okay. Bringing the top 10. Not too different from you guys. I put Thunderbolts.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for him because like I like Zemo a lot. I'm excited to get more Abomination. I think those are two definites on the team because they need like that Hulk character, and obviously we're getting more Abomination now. And that makes me happy because like I really for the longest time thought we were done with Abomination like so very quickly after Incredible Hulk, but I'm glad that he's back. I've seen some like kind of hit or miss potential. Like it's kind of up in the air for these other characters. Like I think it was NLE who said yeah, I don't see it there anymore. Said Echo and whatnot. I never actually thought of Echo until just reading that right now. I always just imagine like Yelena, but Yelena's even a hard sell for me because she's not technically a bad guy. I wouldn't say like she's just doing. I guess she would do contract work to get paid. So I guess if that's what they were doing, then that would make sense. But I think Yelena is like a good go. I don't think Hawkeye would ever join that team unless he was like the one keeping them in line. But even then, like he's retired, I don't think he'd want to be doing anything like that. But I don't know. I'm getting into semantics about it now. But just overall, like the potential of it, like a villain team, is always super super cool to me. Love the Sinister Six. I love what's it called in DC, the Masters of Evil? No, that's not it.
I know
Legion of Doom.
I think so.
Think I'm a DC fan.
I don't know. It's one of they're called something. But I've seen Deadpool is the other cast I've seen in there, and like I could see them like introducing him in a post credit scene or something of that maybe. But I think it would have to be like a multiversal thing as well. And I don't know how they would fit. I mean, it is the multiverse saga, but I don't know how they would fit like a multiversal thing into a Thunderbolts movie. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what the roster of characters, and I like villain teams like the Suicide Squad, like especially James Gunn's. Like it was super exciting to see all that, and obviously James Gunn, it was hilarious. But yeah, I really I want to see where they take this, and I'm worried it might be like another political type thriller thing, though at the same time, and I'm worried that we might be getting too much of that now. At
That's
this
like
point.
3 already. Falcon
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, Armor Wars, and this, which I'm not mad
And then
at,
plus we
you
had
know,
in phase 2 we had Captain America Winter Soldier as well. So
but that's one of the greatest Marvel movies of all time. Actually, that reminds me, I saw a tweet that said, if you direct the best movie in your debut phase, you get an Avengers movie. And they showed the Russo brothers with Winter Soldier, and then how they got Infinity War and Endgame, and then Daniel Dessen-Cretton, how he directed Shang-Chi, and now he's getting King Dynasty.
But
But
No Way Home was better than
yeah,
Shang-Chi.
that's why I'm like, yeah. I'd love Shang-Chi, but I see what they're kind of trying
But
to
it
do.
was Sony. It was
The
Sony.
Avengers was directed by Joss Whedon.
No, but you get your next two, because phase 3 wasn't Winter Soldier in phase 3. Or was that in phase 4 or
It was
2?
phase 2.
It was phase
Phase
2.
2, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyways,
all wacky.
Ben, your pick. Yeah, it's all wacky.
I also just wanted to mention, because Charlie was talking about characters who could show up in the Thunderbolts, and he mentioned Hawkeye. I don't think that's the case, because I feel like Yelena is going to be in it, and like the Black Widow post-credit scene.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
see Hawkeye and Yelena teaming up in the next movie that we see both of them in. I don't see that as likely.
And yeah, that's the thing. I don't see him in there either, unless it was like like he's the one that's supposed to look over them, make sure they're staying in line. But even then, I don't see that, because like he's retired. Like I don't see him wanting to do that.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, my number 10, and I feel like I'm going to have to show my paper for proof, but I also have Secret Invasion. I am interested.
Podcast, bro. Y'all got me bugging.
No, I mean,
Like what? These dudes collaborated, chat. I swear to God.
Secret Invasion 10.
They out on my downfall. That just means Aiden called you up. Hey, bro, you should write this on paper. Like that's how it happened.
No. Seriously, I mean, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be interesting. The way that they described it as like a mystery thriller of like who's a Skrull, who's not. It's going to be a fascinating show. Amelia Clark, I think, is a great pick. I'm excited to even just see Samuel L. Jackson back, because I feel like I haven't seen him in a long time. So I think it's going to be an interesting show, but I'm curious what it actually looks like. But yeah, it easily goes above the rest of these for me. I'm looking forward to it a lot, but yeah, Aiden and I just agree on a lot of things. I mean,
That's what NLE just said. We have mental chemistry.
Okay,
I will say
we're not even halfway through the list.
It's gonna get different. I promise you.
We're not even halfway through the list.
Wait, chat. How do they know it's gonna get different? How do they know it's gonna get different, chat? We're not supposed to know each other's lists.
Because we call
chat,
each other.
This is getting real sus real quick.
Because we talked about it.
I'm telling y'all, chat. I'm telling y'all, they are conspiring. This is crazy.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. So Aiden, you can say your pick, but I won't know, and I won't. Or I guess I could move it, and then you could talk about it.
Yeah,
well, you're good. You can go. I'll say it when you get back.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I'll see
answer questions.
All right, now that he's gone. So what's up with that guy? No. All right, let's talk. Let's see what people are saying. So, do you guys think, or why don't you take it off? Why don't you read it away?
I read that question. Me personally, I could see that happening if it happens after Secret Wars and stuff, because I know a lot of people are theorizing that there's going to be like a big reset after Secret Wars and stuff, and I could see that. I could definitely see that happening. But I also just feel like that's like the starting point. After Secret Wars is going to be another like phase 1, I guess. So like that would be the time to introduce individual X-Men characters by giving them their own movie. But I also I don't know. I could see them more than likely going like the Spider-Man route, just assuming we already know about these characters, all that we need to know about these characters, and just like maybe making a movie about them becoming a team, and they don't become a team until like the end of the movie, kind of like Guardians. Yeah, I feel like it'd be more in the vein of like Guardians of the Galaxy for a mutants movie or an X-Men movie rather than like giving them their own solo projects. Not to say they don't deserve them. I think they could hold their own as well. Like obviously we already know Wolverine can hold his own movie. I'd love to see I keep wanting to say Cyclops. His name is Scott, but I would love to see a Cyclops movie. I love Cyclops a lot. I know he's a kind of a douchebag, but um, but yeah, I mean, not to say that they couldn't hold their own, but I just don't think that's what they would do. I'm surprised we aren't getting a Young Avengers movie before this saga ends.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. I started talking and then I was like, "Did you just cut me off out of nowhere?" No, but yeah. Go ahead with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That is a little bit surprising, Troyer. But also, I mean, I don't think this is gonna happen. But like, there's those stuff in Phase 6 that haven't been announced yet. But I don't see them doing a Young Avengers movie and an actual Avengers movie in the same phase, though. So
Yeah. I will say, Cam Foss, this kind of goes with Troyer's question earlier because this is what I was actually going to say. The best way, in my opinion, for you to introduce mutants at this point in the timeline. So it goes back to like kind of what Charlie was saying about after Secret Wars, it feels like we're going to kind of reset. And that's basically what happened in the comics. At the end of it, you had all these worlds, all these incursions happening. And I think Reed Richards and his son just make it back into one, and it's the 616 and the Ultimate universe, and it just coexists as one, and then we go from there. And I feel like that's kind of what Secret Wars will do, and you have all these crazy things happening, and then boom, it's just one, and we reset, and that's where we get the mutants, and we go from there in a kind of new timeline. However they make that work, who knows, but that's my like theory. Okay, down to my number 9 pick. I have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So, look, I think I think this movie is going to be awesome. I'm so excited for it. Again, a lot of stuff in front of it I prefer. I just think it's like, honestly, if they didn't confirm that Kang was in this movie, would y'all really be messing with it the way y'all are? Be honest.
fair point.
So that's
point.
why
Understandable.
I'm like I like Kang, but we're probably gonna see him in Loki season 2. So it's like, that's kind of the only thing gravitating me. And I will say, I don't know if this is a cheat, but apparently off the trailer, they're saying that it kind of goes against Scott Lang as a character and what his motives are by what was shown at San Diego Comic-Con. And I kind of agree with like everything they did. And at this point, what we know of what they did to his character, that's why I have Quantumania that low. I'm still super excited because Kang, but I don't know. That's really about it. And Scott Lang and everything, and seeing Cassie in her fire suit, like all of that's cool. But I can find cooler things in some of these other projects that are on the table. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said about I think the Kang point was a super good point.
You were about to flame me. I knew you were. And then I said that and you're like, okay.
Yeah, because like, yeah, I'll get into it whenever I get to where I ranked it
At number 1.
Wait, we're on number 9. Okay, yeah. My number 9 is Captain America: New World Order.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys probably think that I would have it higher, considering how much I love Falcon and Winter Soldier, the show. And I am very excited for this. That's why it's in the top 10. I am very, very excited for it. But I'd be hard pressed to tell you I'm more excited for that than this slate of stuff that is coming up after this one on my ranking. We don't know anything about it, obviously, as well. It's just like, I'm super excited though. The writer of Falcon and Winter Soldier is attached to it, and it makes me happy. I don't know how. I know you guys didn't really like the show, but that makes me very happy. I super love to hear that. And so obviously I want Sam to get his moment as Cap. I'm really worried they're going to change his suit around because Marvel always does that every appearance. Somebody gets a new suit, which is a little bit worrisome because I like that suit already. I hope we see more Bucky. Those of you who say Bucky's a boring character, you're wrong.
Get out of their
You're so
stream.
wrong. Can't believe you'd say something like that. I don't even do you guys even pay attention? It's crazy. But yeah, I'm just like everything around this movie, like it excites me, but not to the same level that some of this other stuff does. And I mean, you'll see why as I continue to go down the list. But my main draw to this movie is Sam as Cap, and the writer being the same as Falcon and Winter Soldier, because he can write very emotional and character driven stuff. So aside from the villains, apparently, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'll get into my ranking and my reasoning when we get there. So I'll save that for them. Hey, Aiden H talks. I'm gonna go get ice cream. Okay. No, so that way
that's so awesome. That's awesome.
Because that way I'm not like, where are you at? So thank you for telling me. Anyways, Benjamin.
Okay, I feel like we need to switch up the order a little bit for who goes first.
Oh, no.
I mean, I have my list in front of me, but what are we doing here?
Before you even start, though, because Ben came to that same realization that I did about the Kang thing when you said that. So that means that didn't cross his mind until then. And so, like,
no, of course it crossed my mind.
That's just like, oh, you know what? You give your reason. Give your reason. Oh, I can't wait to hear this one. I can't wait.
What reasoning do I need to give? I have it lower than you do. I have to give a reasoning for why it's as low as it is.
Exactly.
Everything else on the list above it is much better, in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh man.
I mean, you already have 3 of your picks. God. No. Just this is not a flame.
Look at chat.
This is not a flame.
Look at what Troyer said.
I don't have chat open.
Oh, you don't? No. Okay, no. Wait. Actually, hold on. Because Troyer said something. Look at Troyer's most recent chat. Don't look up 3 chats. Just look at his most recent.
Okay, let me pull it up.
Bro, I'll just say that video Troyer made with the whole Cubs thing getting voted out. Dude, oh Troyer, my god. That was hilarious, dude.
That was good.
You can't go to
Troyer's recent chat?
Yeah, well,
I can pull it up on
we
stream.
Could just
all I see is I can't wait to see what they do with Secret Wars.
Okay, just go to StreamYard. Go back to StreamYard. I'll pull it up.
He'll just put
okay.
It up on screen.
No. Okay.
So good.
I mean, I made this image which had the list going in this order. If I was going first and Aiden was going last, it would be the other way around. Okay. I'll start going first. Okay. After this, I'm giving my 8 before Aiden gives his. We're switching it up halfway through the list.
We'll do that.
Listen. My only explanation, Charlie, is that every other project that I have on the list, I have significant reason to look forward to more than Ant-Man. And all I was going to say about your list, I'm not going to flame it, is that you already have 3 projects on there that I am looking forward to much more than Ant-Man, that being Captain America, Loki, and Blade. So I don't think I have to justify having it right in the middle. Like, that's still decent. Everything else is just like, I have a significant reason to like.
I mean, our first real, my only quarrel with it is our first real introduction to the next Thanos level villain, and we have it at 9. Like, that's insane to me. But
yeah, but that's the thing. I get that's the thing with me. That's the only thing, in my opinion, right now. That's the only thing it has going for it. And you look at Guardians Volume 3, you look at Fantastic Four, both the Avengers movie, Daredevil, Blade, Loki season 2, like in our opinion, like in my opinion at least, I don't know, those just have a lot more going for it. I do understand, which is why it's above like Secret Invasion, Thunderbolts, but I'm gonna be back, gonna pray. All right, NLE, yeah, for sure, bro. I'm so hyped to see MODOK. Yeah, and MODOK 2, I guess MODOK 2. No. We'll let Ben go first here now. So.
If you want a little bit more of an explanation, we're getting introduced to our big bad for one of the Avengers movies, but they're doing it in an Ant-Man film, which, like, it could be really cool, but also look at the other 2 Ant-Man films. I don't know. It doesn't hype me up as much as I feel like it should. I still think it could be really good. It's just compared to the other things, it's not quite there for me. I mean, it's right in the middle.
To rebuttal Aiden's point, the only thing I would say against that is because Ben even mentioned it like on our last time, is like Ant-Man and the Wasp. by itself, sure, doesn't really matter. But as Ben said, without the quantum realm and introducing us to the quantum realm, we can't have Endgame. Endgame can't work without it.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine that's what Kang does in this movie, you know? Imagine Kang does something crazy that we can't even have the Kang dynasty without Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Ant-Man and the Wasp being necessary doesn't make it a better movie. And it's the same thing with Quantumania. Even if it's necessary to get to Kang Dynasty, that doesn't improve how good the movie is.
We're not. I didn't think we were arguing right now for how well the movie is going to be. We have no idea how well the movie's going to be. I mean, like, talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, like, sure, I even agree. Ant-Man and the Wasp was not like, it was just how people on TikTok nowadays, when they see movies early, they're just like, it was a fun movie. That's all it was. It was like barely fun, but it was, it was fun. But you look at like Ant-Man, I still think Ant-Man was good. Ant-Man was a really good movie. It was a really good heist movie. It falls into that whole, oh, it's not a superhero movie, it's this movie with superheroes, And so obviously you can't speak to that about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania yet. But I mean, it's introducing us to Kang, it's introducing us to MODOK, introducing us to Ant-Man's daughter, and obviously I know you're talking about the quality aspect of it now too. And I guess this is just what we're most excited for. So like in grand scheme of things, argumentation shouldn't even be happening right now. It's all personal opinion, but it's just, that's just my take.
Yeah. No, I agree with you and I respect what you're saying. I'm saying because of what I explained about necessity versus quality, that my anticipation is lower. I anticipate it to be necessary. I don't anticipate it to be as good as some of these other films. I think we're on the same page. We just view it a little differently.
Okay,
I'm going first. Okay.
Go.
My number 8 is Blade. I have seen the original Blade trilogy, and I think that the first 2 films are actually pretty decent. Nothing phenomenal, but for the time, I think they did a decent job, especially considering most comic book movies from really early on. Third movie, not so much. But I'm very excited. I think they picked a phenomenal director and a phenomenal cast, and I am anticipating that it is going to, in my opinion, like, I know that they already have their whole trilogy, so people who have watched that don't necessarily have a great view on the Blade franchise or the Blade character. I think that's going to completely change everybody's perspective on the character of Blade. And it's going to take something different and unique like vampires that some of us might not be a fan of and give it to us in an interesting way where we can appreciate the world and the characters and love them as their addition to the Marvel Universe. I think it's going to be great. I'm still kind of up in the air on how I feel about it potentially being rated PG-13. I think I said, like, of all projects that don't need to keep the rating, this is probably one of them. Because even in the original Blade movies, I think most of those could pass for PG-13 nowadays. A lot of the violence isn't even that violent. So that'll be an interesting change as well. But I think the movie's going to be really, really good.
Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot I was in the middle.
You're in the middle, and so no matter what way you go, you're always next.
Oh jeez. Okay. Can I move my stuff around real quick?
Only if you want to. Don't move it around for us. That's all I'll say.
No, that's what I was making a joke. I was gonna move it because I'm about to get flamed for this. I feel like Avengers Secret Wars. Yeah.
Aiden, you're number 8.
Okay, so Charlie had technical difficulties.
Listen, man, because
go ahead. Yeah.
I just feel like obviously my only thing I can look to is Infinity War and Endgame. Okay. And I really think, and I'm talking about, this is me talking about Kang Dynasty now. I just think Kang Dynasty is going to do so much more for imagine what Infinity War was for Thanos. That's what this can be for Kang. And I imagine, I've already made TikToks about how like I don't think they're all gonna lose again. I feel like that'd be too telegraphed and it'd just be a little bit samey. Secret Wars is gonna be super hype. I get it. And it's like, it's going to be the soup's dream. Okay. Cameos up and down the street. We walking everywhere. Cameo there, cameo there. Daredevil jumping over She-Hulk. Like it's going to be crazy. Okay. I get it. I super get it. And I loved Endgame. Okay. Guys, I know I'm getting flamed. I loved Endgame. Okay. But like, really, like, let's be realistic here. I mean,
Ben is dying. I'm hearing you out, Charlie.
I don't know. It's just gonna be like a gigantic brawl, man. Like we don't know anything about it either. That's the other thing. We just know what we know about the comics. And it's like that's all we're going off of. And we don't even know which comic it's gonna lean towards more. The original one, which was literally just heroes, villains versus each other on this made-up world. Wow, that's fascinating. And then the second one obviously has a lot more substance to it. The main focus point being Reed and Doom. But we don't know what that's going to entail. Obviously, I don't think this is going to entail Reed and Doom because Fantastic Four is literally starting this phase off. And there's no way, because it comes out 2024 and this comes out 20. Yeah, there's no way that they're going to introduce Reed and then have him fighting Doom in Secret Wars, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading the chat. I'm sorry.
I understand and I know where you're coming from. One of my gripes with this is one of the main crutches of the 2015, I believe, the 2015 run of Secret Wars. The one I read is Doom. It's literally like a case study on Doom and Reed's characters. What are you going to do when you have the Fantastic Four coming in literally less than a year before that? You know? So it's like, what really are you going to do in this movie? I understand where you're coming from there.
That's actually crazy. Yeah, less than a year.
Yeah, it's less than a year because it's coming out.
Because it comes out November 2024.
That's like exactly a year.
It's almost exactly a year. You're right. I'm getting it.
Yeah, from Secret Wars. Okay. Yeah, okay. Dang. Wait, that's so weird. Wait. I mean, okay, never mind. I was just gonna because there's still 7 projects they haven't announced. I'm like, how are they gonna fit all that in there?
What's up, Jay?
Jay. But yeah, exactly. Like that's like one of the main crutches of Secret Wars. Like Reed comes in and messes everything up, and Doom, he gets so like mad about it that he starts acting out, which ultimately leads to like Battleworld being destroyed, all because he cares so much about Reed Richards messing up his plan. It's just, how are you going to fit all that? And maybe I haven't read the first Secret Wars run, but I heard a lot of people saying that maybe you take that run and instead of the Beyonder, you make it Kang, and that's how you fit everything. Who knows? So I get what you're saying from there.
Can I just say 2 things?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to start an argument, okay? I just want to say 2 things. The first thing is if you're basing it off of Infinity War and Endgame, I feel like the 2 Avengers projects should be higher up, in my opinion, because those were like the culmination of everything. And yes, we don't know what it's going to look like, but I feel like that would improve my anticipation, because if that's going to be the end of this whole multiverse saga, that makes things even better, because Infinity War and Endgame were such great movies. And the other thing is, like, you said that Ant-Man and the Wasp should be higher because it's our first look at Kang. I feel like the Avengers film should be higher because that's our payoff of Kang, you know, like that should be even more anticipated.
My rebuttal to the second one is we don't know if Kang is even going to be a part of this one. I mean, like we're assuming because, I mean, like that's what happened with Thanos, sure. But fair. I've seen people say, what if Dr. Doom just, I think this would be bad because like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense unless they obviously build up to it. But I've seen people say, what if Dr. Doom comes out of nowhere, kills Kang, and then it's like a more closely accurate Secret Wars and that type of thing. And, you know, I'm not, because I don't want to subscribe to the idea that it's going to be just like that all over again, because I don't want it to be repetitive. Avengers lose, Avengers come back and win less than a year later. You know, it's just, I don't want it to get stale in that way. But as for the first part of it, I mean, that you definitely have a point there, in saying that. But me personally, I've never ranked Endgame that high on my list. Like, obviously, it's an enjoyable experience, but I mean, there's lots of other MCU movies that accomplish so much more with their characters, I feel like, than Endgame does. And at the end of the day, for me, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's more character focused than, like, I don't know, overall grand hype moment. Because let's look at the intricacies of Endgame. What did it do to Thanos? It ruined him almost entirely. It ruined his whole goal. Like, okay, you guys have pissed me off enough. I just want to kill the whole universe and start a new one. And it's like, that's not compelling, you know. I will like it. I mean, I like there's certain things I liked, like, obviously, the relationship between Tony and Steve I thought was really well handled, but that kind of needed to be, because that was the resolution to Civil War. And what set that up was Civil War. And I think Civil War was almost, not completely, but almost better crafted in that sense, in a sort of character sense. um Charlie's using descriptive words to convince you, and I'm not falling for it.
No, I actually disagree with him. I think you have made some very valid points, and I was the one who first said that I don't think that this storyline is going to be a two-parter. So I agree with you that while I 100% think Kang is going to be in Kang Dynasty, we don't know if he's going to be in Secret Wars. I agree with you there. That's a great point.
Yeah. And it's just like, I love, and again, I really want to stress, I love Endgame as much as the next person, but it's just, for me, like, I could nitpick up and down the street about, like made characters, or make certain characters like Thor a joke. It didn't focus enough on, like, say, I don't fucking know, Black Widow. I guess, like, her death was rushed and tossed in there. Whatever, you could say whatever the hell you want about it. But I feel like looking at Infinity Wars, like, seeing, like, how am I trying to put this? Seeing them try to reel back from Civil War, and, like, seeing Tony so hesitant to even call Cap, like, that's the character stuff that I love. I love that so much. And obviously Endgame had that, right? And that's what I mentioned before. But there's, I don't know, and, like, Infinity War, like, had, like, the first introduction to, like, oh, like, look, our character, the Guardians, and these characters are crossing together, and it's all haha funny, and that type of thing. And that's why, and I'll get to the Kang Dynasty eventually, but, that's why I compared them so closely to Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, I agree with what both of y'all said. I'm on both of y'all's side. So
I think we're on the same side.
I do understand. I see where you're coming from. Endgame has never been, like, that high on my all-time comic book favorite list. It's never been that high on my list. So I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I just want to I promise, guys, like, you can roast me. I can take it. Like, I've been, like, it's like, I don't care. I just want to stress that. Like, I'm chilling here. I'm completely chilling. Like, I have my takes, and I know, like, they're kind of like, but, like, exactly. Like, I'll explain them, and if you want to listen, if you don't, then I guess that's whatever. Like,
well, yeah, no. And as soon as you said Secret Wars, like, I was like, like, my jaw was open. But after your explanation, like, I see what you mean, and I'm not gonna lie. When you see my spot, I'll explain more of that, and you'll see, like, how much I agree with you. But yeah, I'm no fault there. Like, I understand what you're saying. I might not agree that low, but yeah, to a certain extent. Speaking of where I'd rank stuff, I think I have, sorry, let me put my notes up real quick. Loki season 2 at 8. Like I said earlier, Loki did something so, like, different and unique and crazy that we hadn't seen before in the MCU, other than Endgame, where they went to places we've already been to. But that moment where you see that they're going to 2052 or something, and you're like, whoa, and you see all this crazy stuff, and then they go to that purple planet that was just so beautiful. And while I agree that cliffhanger on episode 3, it was just kind of like, there was tension there, but it's like, what am I supposed to think they're gonna die? and everything they set up and everything they explain, like how them holding hands or interacting or whatever creates a branch to where the TVA can find them and take them away. I thought all that was cool because they set everything up in that episode or in that show that leads to that moment to where you're like, I understand why this is happening. And then the crazy stuff about the timekeepers just not being real. And you're like, oh yeah, stuff's about to get real. And then episode 5 and 6 come out, absolute bangers. And that's the show. And we get introduced to Kang for the first time. I can only imagine what they're going to do with Loki season 2 after the cliffhanger they left off of the finale. At this point, when we get Loki season 2, we're going to see Kang. We're already going to know who Kang is in the MCU. He's already going to be introduced. So he can come in and antagonize Loki even more, or a variant of him can antagonize Loki even more. And we just get Jonathan Majors all over the place. Troyer is dropping some bars today. I've seen the set leaks and how they're filming at all these different locations, and they have like these 90s cars everywhere. Just makes me that much more excited for this show. I have it above Quantumania. All the other ones I have above Loki, but Loki season 2, I absolutely love the first season. I thought it was amazing. Solid 9 out of 10 for me. So it's only fitting that Loki season 2 gets that treatment as well. I do want to kind of go through some of these real quick. It was so funny. NLE says Charlie is always spitting facts. He's growing on me. So I thought that was absolutely hilarious. It's like, was he not growing on you before that?
Well, yeah, I can understand my takes. They're like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I get it.
They're lukewarm takes.
You got it. Hey, we're all here having a great time. Jay says, me personally, I have Endgame only like 6th on my MCU list. Got Infinity War, Guardians, Winter Soldier, No Way Home, Ragnarok. Exactly. And that's
I feel like that speaks to more like the point that I'm trying to make is like,
yeah,
because those are all very character driven stuff. I mean, No Way Home is kind of a mix of like the Endgame and like character driven stuff. Like it did really great things for Peter's character, which is, I guess, that's more the reason I have it higher. But I think Loki was the best Marvel Disney. Whew.
I fully agree with that. Like me personally, I fully agree with that.
Second best. Moon Knight is better.
Oh, I think
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. That's
I know. Yeah, I think you actually.
It's gonna be really hard for something to beat Loki. For me, maybe not with all these crazy shows we're getting so far.
Wait, what's your number 2, Aiden?
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think I got, and this one. Look, this one's gonna be kind of hot. All right, y'all are probably not gonna like me after this. I got Loki, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision. Those are my top 4. I feel like in films nowadays, when the hero wins after a huge loss or just a normal win, it doesn't get the recognition if the villain is strong. I don't know if that makes sense. Like when a team loses, like Infinity War, people loved it because it's unexpected. But when a team unexpectedly wins and beats the villain, the audience doesn't like it. It's like the Marvel formula argument again. I feel like that can work if you tell an amazing story while you're doing it. Hence, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Hence, Guardians of the Galaxy. And so I feel like that can work if you tell an awesome story with it. No, I always like Charlie. He's growing on me more. Yeah, I figured we're just making fun. Moon Knight over Loki. Cam, I think I'm going to time out you. I'm kidding. Not going to lie, I skipped it because it was bad. Episode 4 was rough. It was very rough. Okay. Anything y'all want to comment on those comments real quick, or are we going to move on?
I will mention stuff earlier about what you guys said with Endgame and character significance. I will talk about that later when I get to my placement of Secret Wars. That's all I want to bring up.
Okay. Ben, are you going back again, or do we kind of snake draft this?
Well, it depends on if I'm going to be accused of anything in the chat. If we have the same pick.
I feel like things are going to start getting real different here.
That means Loki is Ben's next one, guys.
No, it's actually not. Okay. I'll just go next.
Okay,
my next one is Captain America: New World Order. I am really looking.
Before you go, I just want to. Why did we freak out so bad on my placement when yours is only 2 higher?
I didn't freak out.
I thought we freaked out on my placement for Captain America.
I didn't.
Okay.
I think maybe
I'm misremembering. Anybody did. Nobody
maybe
did.
I'm misremembering.
Blade and Loki, I think, were the 2
Those
that
were the
we
only 2
questioned.
And somewhat of Secret Wars.
And Secret Wars a little bit. But no, I don't. I didn't disagree. I looked
didn't
and
hate
said,
it.
"Oh, I have mine at 7. That's respectful."
Okay, that's what for some reason I remember you guys disagreeing with me on Captain America.
I
And
mean,
so I was like, no way you disagreed that hard when it's just too higher.
I think you're just a little hurt, so you're misremembering.
Oh my god.
Anyways, I am looking forward to this movie. I think it's interesting because even though it's a Captain America film, it's obviously very different. It could be the start of a completely like new trilogy where Anthony Mackie is the lead, which is going to be it's just going to be a unique movie on how they continue the story of Captain America, because I want it to carry over like similar themes while also fitting some of the stuff that we got in like the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. So I think it could be really interesting. I mean, the Captain America trilogy is still the best Marvel trilogy, just in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to it, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I feel like a movie could be really good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'll get more on that whenever I rank it.
You guys probably won't like what I'm putting above Secret. Well, obviously you don't like what I'm putting above Secret Wars anyway. But Secret Invasion is what I'm putting above Secret Wars, and that, I mean, in full honesty, that probably lies in like a personal bias, because Secret Invasion, I actually did read the comic line for that one, and I really love it. But I also know that it's not exactly following the storyline, considering it's just following Nick Fury and Maria Hill and whoever. Amelia Clark is playing. But you know, it's still like, that's the kind of stuff that I live for. It's like, I don't know who's a Skrull, and like I could be watching Don Cheadle show up as War Machine. I'm forgetting Rhodey. I could watch him show up as Rhodey, and I don't even know if that's actually Rhodey. Like, he could be like, "Hey, do you guys know where Tony's stuff is? I'm trying to get it." And like, I don't know what this Skrull's doing. Is he trying to be a little sneaky little guy, or is he just, is he just Don Cheadle? But I don't know. There's an element of mystery there, and the way they're describing it too makes me super excited for it, and I hope that stays true. I know that didn't really follow, at least for me, didn't really follow through with Moon Knight and how brutal they said it was. But I'm hoping this one is. I know Soups described Nick Fury as like a Nick Fury we have never seen before. This isn't the one we remember, I think, is what he exactly said. And so I'm hoping that is there, because that's like kind of character stuff that I'm talking about that I like. And so, I mean, yeah, this TV show, I hope, doesn't fall into the same formula as the other shows. So
yeah,
I guess that shows you how much hype, or not hype, but how much hope I still have for these shows to turn out good.
Yeah. Real quick before I pick, Cam Faust, my boy Cam says it better not touch Cap's suit in this movie. It's the best of Phase 4. Completely agree. And
That's
Charlie, Charlie was saying that as well. Troyer says I have Don Cheadle's phone number and that Amelia Clark is his future wife. Okay.
Damn.
I respect that. I respect that.
Bro's time traveling.
Ben, you can finally get rid of all the flaming, because I have Captain America New World Order at 7 as well. So I'm very excited for this movie.
What do you want?
Guys, bro. I swear, bro.
I don't know what to tell you, Charlie.
I don't know if you can see that right there. I don't know.
Spoilers.
I just saw that.
I saw where your number 6 is.
What is it?
Blade?
Yeah. So I guess I'll go after this. So let me go real quick, so you can put Blade at 6 already. Captain America New World Order to start off with. I am so excited for this movie. I think I agree with Ben. The Cap's trilogy is the best. Winter Soldier is one of my favorite, my favorite Marvel movie. And so I'm excited to see Anthony Mackie take up that role. I hear the director is Julius Ona. He was the
number 7.
Julius Ona is the director of the Cloverfield Paradox, which isn't really that great of a movie, but he also did do the movie Loose, which I haven't watched, but I hear from some people that it is really good. And I've heard some controversy around either one of those movies, that there was like a lot of interference, or that he wasn't able to direct the movie he wanted to. So I'm still giving him hope. for directing Captain America: New World Order, and I'm very excited to see where they go from Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love his suit. I think the last episode, the finale, all his fight scenes were just amazing and so satisfying. And then the title New World Order is just so interesting. It's so cool. I feel like now they can finally, because as we all know, like they might have cut a lot of stuff from the plot due to it being a COVID vaccine timeline or plot line that they kind of cut, and you can tell by the way the show was edited and cut it. You can tell some stuff was left on the chopping table. So I'm excited to see, like Charlie said on one of our old episodes, what they can do in a movie, how they can write a movie around Sam Wilson as Captain America. And while I didn't really like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm not going to let that affect the way, like my hype levels for this movie, which is why I have it at 7. The other movies and projects ahead of it, I'm frankly more excited for, such as Blade. Blade, I think it's going to be awesome to jump back into this. Mahershala Ali is such a phenomenal actor. Can't wait to see him in this with his katanas just choom, 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 killing vampires all left and right. I actually disagree with Charlie. The supernatural side of the MCU is one that I'm most excited to get into, with Moon Knight and Blade and Punisher and the Midnight Suns, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, all of that. I feel like they can do so much cool things. Werewolf by Night, which comes out in a couple months. I think all of that stuff is super interesting to me. It's something new in the MCU. It's fresh, and while the old movies might not be looked at as that great, it's a fresh new start. Charlie, can you quiet down over there, please?
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. But no, Blade, I'm absolutely hyped for it. I can't wait to see what they do with this movie, and it's gonna be cool getting a new quote unquote new hero in the MCU. So I'm all for it.
Oh my god, I will say Ghost Rider is like the one thing that I'm really excited for on the supernatural side of the MCU.
Yeah,
Baden is such
I
a cute couple name.
Jesus Christ. Watch, just wait. Top 5 is going to be completely different. Also, I'm surprised Ben still has Guardians of the Galaxy up there, dude.
I was going to bring that up at some point.
After how much he ragged on Volume 2.
Give me some credit.
I said, give me some time and you'll be surprised by my ranking.
Okay. Well, then why don't we delay it a little bit and have Charlie go next?
Yes. What is this? Number 6? Yeah, for my for my number 6, I have the Marvels.
Hey, okay.
I'm actually really excited for it. Miss Marvel helps. I was already excited for it before Miss Marvel, but Miss Marvel really helped that. I love Kamala a lot. Like the show, despite its problems that it had in like the latter half, I like everything that it did with her character. I really, really loved, and like it made me care about her characters so very much. Monica's kind of like the wild card going into it. Like I feel like we know a little bit about her from WandaVision, but not like too much. So I'm excited. I'm to the point where I'm excited to know more. Like I know enough about her that I'm interested, and so yeah, I want more of her. And then Carol, I really want a second shot for her. I really want this to work out for her. I really want this to be a movie that is liked, because I feel the same way. Like Captain Marvel wasn't like the standout for me. I'd say that I watched it 3 times in theaters. Don't know why I did that, but I mean, I did. I really, because like she's a cool character. I mean, obviously, I know she's not the greatest character. She has issues, especially in the comics as well. Like she's just kind of like a douche. I don't know. Only really cares about herself in the comics anyway. But I want to give this one a shot, and I don't want her to just be written off immediately. Not like written off, like actually written out, but just like written off by fans. And I just think that's such a cool title too, The Marvels. Like that is such a cool title change. Then not that it ever had a title before that, but just we all thought it was just going to be Captain Marvel 2. But just the fact that there's 3 Captain Marvels, or 3 Marvels coming together, obviously, because Kamala is not a captain. So it's super exciting to me, and I'm really looking forward to it, which is why I can't understand why you guys got that so low. That is crazy.
Hey, I said at my
That
number
is
12,
criminal.
I said at my number 12, I'm excited for it. And that's like from 12 and up is things I know are going to be really good. Just a matter of what I think will be better. The Marvels over Secret Wars, that's something. I do respect the spot though. I do respect the spot because especially how me and you when we were covering Miss Marvel episode by episode podcast, link in the channel, everything about. No, while we were discussing episode by episode, we kept talking about, especially the last one, how hyped we were for the movie to come out. So I'm glad to see it that high. I'm glad a lot of people are starting to put some respect on its name.
I gave my explanation. I need to finish I need to finish the Miss Marvel show. That's it. That's all.
Let's be honest though, even if you finish it, it's not gonna jump up that much higher.
It could.
What episode are you on?
I am barely started on 3.
Okay, if you haven't made your mind up by now, yeah, it's not going that much higher.
I mean, I like the show. To me right now, it doesn't impact the Marvels at all.
Oh, that last episode you'll see.
Okay. Anyways, my number 6 is Loki season 2. Now listen.
Damn, wait.
I know what?
Our 6, 7, and 8 are interchangeable.
That's crazy,
We're not beating the copy allegation.
Chat, that is crazy.
It goes further than that, Aiden, because right now, like, we're basically you can group everything we've done. Our 11 to 16 is interchangeable. Our 10 and our 9 are the same, and then
Jesus,
we've had all the same stuff so far.
That's insane, chat.
All right. Listen, listen. I wasn't a big fan of the Loki show at the beginning, and then it became a really interesting, mysterious show, and I loved where it ended off. And I also have to say, having it take place because of the events of Endgame and time travel and everything is something that I don't feel like is touched on enough. Like, the Loki that we're dealing with in the show is a 2012 Loki that's just gotten his butt kicked by the Avengers, which is much different than the Loki that we had throughout Ragnarok and Infinity War. So I feel like it's a different and unique approach to a storyline because we know a lot more about the character than the character knows about himself. That's not something that I feel like is talked about enough with the show, and I'm interested to see what they do with that in season 2. Obviously, time and everything is really wonky within the show, but I'm curious how it's going to tie into the grander story because we're going to have a Loki who hasn't been through everything that we've seen, who's still going to be interacting potentially with this new big bad and with all these characters who potentially knew Loki prior to, everything that happened. So I'm really interested. I think it's going to have a lot of significance for Kang, which gets me excited more so than Ant-Man and the Wasp, just because I liked season 1 of Loki and I'm interested for where do they go from here because it was such a fascinating new perspective for a show. And yeah, it's my second favorite of the Disney Plus shows so far. So I'm curious where it's going to go and how it's going to continue to tie into the grander story. Plus, it's the first live action show to get a season 2. That's definitely something that's worth talking about, considering we just got season 1 a year ago. It's a pretty quick turnaround from season 1 to 2. It's only 2 years. That hasn't happened for anything else, which I just think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it a lot.
I feel like that mostly has to do with because of what it deals with, like multiversal conversation in the multiverse saga. But I mean, I could be wrong. But also I wanted to say what you mentioned about Loki, is actually that's probably one of the reasons I didn't really like that much, because I feel like we go through this whole series just for him to end up the same that he was when he died in Infinity War, and it's just it was like, why did we follow him throughout this journey just for him to end up where he was before he died, and now he's just not alive again because it's a different Loki. I get it, but I don't know. It just seemed like a waste of time to me.
I actually disagree with that because while he is in the same spot, he doesn't go through the same things he went through in the Infinity Saga. He's more he met Sylvie. He fell in love with Sylvie. he met someone like Mobius, who saved his butt when he didn't really need to. Um, it gives a lot more to him. He realizes that basically most of everything he was trying to fight for and all the power he was trying to grab was for nothing, which in the Infinity Saga and in Infinity War, I don't think our Loki knew that. He obviously didn't know that there was a higher power such as He Who Remains or Kang or anything who was messing with time like that. So now he kind of sees like, well, damn, I wanted all this power, but for what? There's always going to be a bigger fish, you know. And in the Infinity Saga, I'm losing my mind, he didn't know all these things. He didn't have all this. In the Loki show, it gives him that while rewatching the highlights of his life for some reason and more. So that's that's I guess what kind of makes this Loki different but the same, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I because it just seems, because even though it's different stuff that he went through, sure, but it's exactly as you said. He's still the same. Like it's still like he ends up in the same place of wanting to. Okay, he's willing to sacrifice his own happiness, sacrifice himself for this person that he loves, which is in Infinity War, it's Thor, and then in Loki, it's Sylvie. And so, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say that he was still willing to take up the throne, but like he wanted Kang's spot, but like he even, like I said earlier, he mentions how he just wants her to be okay, and so and again, it's like in that moment, like that's all he just cares about them being okay, and he was willing to die, potentially trying to stab Thanos, who he knows because he's worked with him how badass that guy is, I don't know. It just seems like Loki, and I guess I could be a little bit biased again because I said I never really cared about the character beforehand. It just seemed like this is a weird character to follow this along with. It's almost kind of like the prequel argument that I brought up in our Kenobi thing. Like it just kind of doesn't work for me because not because it's a different character and like none of it matters. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like, why did we follow this character on this journey just for him to end up in the same place as this other one did? And sure, he watched all of that stuff that happened to that other Loki. Like he watched all that happen and he kind of felt that, like he cried, he felt bad about it. But I mean, it's probably the same way that I cry watching these movies. Like, it's not like he didn't experience that stuff. And then until he experiences, like Aiden mentioned, like I will admit he experienced his own things, but he still comes to the same conclusion. And who knows, maybe they'll take him in a different direction. And that's why I'm not completely not excited for it. But
that was going to be my one point, is that with where we're at, I think that there's still a lot of room for him to change and improve. And I actually would argue that it makes sense why he's in that spot, because look at how long he was in that spot throughout the main Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wouldn't expect that just over the course of the first season of his show that things would be different right away, which is why I'm excited to see where he continues to grow and change. Now that he has seen where the other Loki ended up, how is that going to change his decisions and like affect how he thinks and feels? Because I think that opens a better opportunity for change and growth to happen, but I don't think it would be such like a quick change, in my opinion.
Okay.
I guess we'll see like where this season takes it, especially after that cliffhanger last season, which is why it's so high up on my list. It's just, where do we go from here? What other time stuff do we do from here? And especially now that the multiverse is busted wide open and we have and like Marvel doesn't care to throw in Fantastic Four variants or Captain Marvel variants or what they did in Doctor Strange, even some X-Men and stuff. Now they really don't care. It was early phase 4 when Loki came out. They were kind of still kind of like, we'll throw this and this and this. What are y'all going to do now that the multiverse is wide open? He's already hopping through time and everything. We know that. I think we know he's back with Mobius based off set leaks. So like, where do we go from here? That's why it's so high up on my list. Am I going?
Sure.
Yes.
Or are you going, Ben?
or
Is it your
Ben.
turn?
It's one of you guys.
No, you go ahead. But if it's the same one, then
I feel like it probably is. I feel like I honestly though, I feel like
You
we
said
all
top 5 was when it was going to change.
no. Well, I thought so, but now I'm looking at the board and I'm like, damn. Well, there's not really much.
well, if we're gonna
I
have the
feel like
same
we're all
top
gonna have the same
five.
5. Well, I feel like we're all gonna have the same number 5. I feel like right here, right now, we're all gonna have the same number 5.
It's like the only option.
I don't know. I feel like in my head we will. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
My number 5 is well, you know what? Maybe not. Now that I'm saying it, my number 5 is Daredevil Born Again. So I absolutely can't wait for this project. Obviously, 18 episodes. We're getting our boy back in the MCU. I think my biggest like scare with this, and I sound like every other like little kid in comment sections on TikTok, is the Disney of it all. I think they said a while ago the writers that they got for this show, like I went and I looked, and I think the only thing they had on their IMDb was a show that was like below 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was like a rom-com, and I was like, ugh. It's just like, I don't know. It's carrying a lot of like, it's having to fill big shoes because of how awesome the Netflix show was. That's one of my favorite shows I've ever seen, superhero stuff or not. I think Charlie, me and you were even talking about it, or maybe it was all of us, how you have Christian Bale fighting crime. The only thing that makes it a superhero movie is he's wearing a bat suit. You have Daredevil being a street vigilante. The only thing that makes it a superhero movie is that he wears a Daredevil suit. And so that's why like I can take the superhero out of it and it still be one of my favorite shows of all time. To come in with 18 whole episodes, which would be 2 seasons for most shows, and to be under, some Disney of it all. I mean, we saw what they did to Kingpin and Hawkeye. Wasn't the biggest fan of it at all. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's Charlie Cox, it's Matt Murdock, it's Daredevil. Give me all of that injected into my veins. I'm still so excited for this. That's the only thing that's stopping me from putting it above other things. But that's a testament to how good this character is and how good they did with the Netflix show, that even though I am nervous, I still have it at my number 5 above all of these other things on my list. So Daredevil Born Again at my number 5.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have the same number 5 that you guys do. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is my number 5. Yeah, we pretty much touched on all of it. I won't lie, what's mainly getting me excited about this is Kang. Absolutely and totally. I like Scott as a character though, and I love Paul Rudd. He's probably the second thing that gets me. Actually, no, I'm excited to see Cassie. I want to see what Catherine Newton can do in this movie, and nice to see like 3 of them all like running around. I don't like that they all have the same powers though. It's kind of lame. Like they're all just gonna be doing the same shit. Excuse me. Like they're just gonna be shrinking and jumping and punching, and it's like, but it's whatever. Decided to see MODOK. I don't know how I feel about the rumors of it being Corey Stoll, I think the actor's name is, something like that. But the guy who played Yellow Jacket in the first Ant-Man movie, don't know how I feel about that yet. But we'll have to see how that turns out. But the monologue that I heard for Kang that they showed at Comic-Con makes me super excited. I think that's I'm hoping he's a super menacing and scary villain to deal with. And that's, I don't have complete faith that they're going to stick with that, especially in an Ant-Man movie with Peyton Reed directing, knowing how Ant-Man and the Wasp was so like not taking itself seriously. So I am worried, don't get me wrong, but that's why it's just barely in the top 5. I won't lie that Kang is really carrying this for its spot right now. So, or at least the potential for Kang. But yeah,
I hope they treat Kang in this movie a little differently than they treated Gore in Thor: Love and Thunder. Like when he says, "You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" I think if this is our big introduction to Kang, that we should see him killing variants of characters. Like we never saw Gore really butcher any gods.
Yeah.
You know, they just said that he did. And we only saw it like at the beginning. So I hope that they do a better job of like, I'm kind of worried about the tone, like Thor Love and Thunder. I was worried about the tone where you have a very lighthearted, small scale story, which you had with the other Ant-Man movies. And then you're trying to pair that along with now one of the biggest villains that we're going to get in this entire saga. That needs to be a good balance, in my opinion. That's like one of the biggest things. And I hope that they can pull it off, but we will see.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I knew it. Yeah.
Now listen, it's in the top 5. That's got to be shocking to you guys. Like,
yeah, that's good.
Let's be honest. I talk trash about Volume 2, but after what we heard at San Diego Comic-Con and the trailer, which got fully leaked on Twitter, I am just really excited because I love James Gunn, and a lot of the work that he has done is phenomenal. The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, Guardians 1. Like, I love a lot of the work that he has done, and I know that he can craft some amazing stories and some very emotional stories. So for him to say that this is going to be the end and like how they're treating this movie as like the end of an era, I already know it's going to be a very emotional movie and just amazing overall. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Troyer, it's top 5. It's top 5. Do you know which ones that I have left? Like 4 heavy hitters.
It's top G. It's top G.
5 is respectable. Okay, 5 is totally respectable.
For Ben, that is really respectable. I like that. Okay, I'm glad to see it broke your top 5. Nice. I guess I'm up for my number 4. Give me Avengers Secret Wars. So I am on the same page as Charlie. I don't know. Are your dogs good?
Sorry, hold on.
No, you're good. You're good. Technical difficulties with the doggies.
You can keep going. I'm still listening.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, I'm basically kind of on the same page as Charlie. Is it a big name? Yes. Is it an Avengers movie? Yes. But it's just, what are you going to do? It's back to the Ironheart situation. The only difference is it's exactly what NLE said earlier. It has a big name to it, so it's up there. But it's like, what really do we know?
Troyer's on a roll tonight, bro.
Oh my god, bro, he got me cracking up. Oh my god, bro. Oh man, that's hilarious. It's back to the Ironheart situation and the Armor Wars situation. It's just this time it has 2 big names next to it: Avengers and Secret Wars. How do we get there? What are we doing? We don't even have a director for it. We have a director for Kang Dynasty, which is good. It's nice. But the Russo brothers kind of wanted to come back and direct Secret Wars. They've even came out and said that if the Russo brothers were attached to this, maybe it'd be at my number 1, number 2. It's just up in the air right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, after the Gray Man? After
From the directors of Cherry,
after Winter Soldier, after Infinity War, after
Cherry, after Cherry,
3 against 2. 3 against 2.
4 against 2.
4 against 2. They directed Civil War, no?
That studio interference is gonna be crazy on those movies.
The directors of Cherry and the Gray Man.
Oh my god!
And the Gray Man 2, which I'm sure is gonna be fantastic.
And the Gray Man spinoff. It's like, but no, I mean, we don't know anything about this. We don't even know how they're gonna get there. Like I said earlier, Secret Wars, the newest issue or the newest run, it's a case study on Reed and Doctor Doom. How do you get Reed and Doctor Doom in there in a year with like a couple other movies in between and shows or whatever? I just don't know right now. I'm up in the air. I can't say it's my definitive number 1. I'm still super excited for it. It's Secret Wars. I'm sure we can expect a lot of crazy things to happen. Like you said earlier, a lot of cameos. But yeah, Secret Wars it has to fall in my number 4 spot.
What are you writing, man?
I'm writing my notes.
You just change your list around?
No. I'm writing some notes on Secret Wars that I'm going to bring up to use as to why I have it placed where I am, based on what you guys said. Don't worry, it'll make more sense.
He has a number 1, no doubt.
Maybe I do.
Charlie, number 4.
Yeah. My number 4, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Yeah, I already touched on this a little bit. I just really think this is going to be setting aside, because I made this list before I even knew that Destin was the director. So setting aside the whole director thing, I think this has the potential to be better, because Kang we know who the villain is. First of all, we don't 100% know that Kang is going to be the villain of Secret Wars, but we know who the villain is with Kang, and we kind of know a little bit about Kang already, and we kind of know how menacing that he can be, and the focus on him could actually be a lot grander than we expect, and which is why that could touch into Secret Wars, but it doesn't quite edge out these last top 3 that I have, just in terms of my personal excitement. I'm really excited to get another Avengers movie. Do not get me wrong. I like Avengers movies are always so hype, and like I'm sure it's going to be another Spider-Man No Way Home level event. People are going to come dressed up. People are going to bring Stormbreaker, all that kind of stuff. They're going to come in cosplays and whatnot. But wait, what? Hold on. Sorry, I just read what Troyer said. Charlie, you can't tell me you didn't like seeing Tom Holland. What? Oh, we were talking about Cherry. I forgot. I was like, what are we talking about?
I know. I was like,
I must have some sort of like privacy settings on my account, because I'm not seeing some of these messages.
Just go. Oh, y'all can't see it in StreamYard, huh?
No, I'm reading it from StreamYard. If you change it.
No, I think it comes up on StreamYard. I'm saying in the actual YouTube chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, but yeah, Charlie, sorry about what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty much closing up. I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, I have high hopes for Kang. I really think he can be better than Thanos, and I really want him to be. And so I'm hoping that they give him the time of day with this. Obviously, I'm a little naturally worried, because this is supposed to be such a bigger thing than Thanos, and like, the Russo brothers complained about how they didn't complain per se, but they talked about how difficult it was, even with there being 2 of them managing it all. And I remember Joss Whedon, as much of a asshole that he is, talked about, like, with Avengers 2, how hard that was, to like it. He was being hyperbolic, I'm sure, but he said like it almost killed him and that type of thing. So I'm worried for Destin in that degree. But again, I said setting aside because that did not factor into my ranking of this. But yeah, overall, I don't find it as exciting as some of the other stuff that I have coming up. Top chat, live chat. That's what worked for me when I couldn't.
It did work. I just had to switch it.
Dang, there you go. Dobin's the GOAT. Look at him.
Okay. Up to my number 4. I also have Kang Dynasty.
Oh no. Wait till he comes back and sees that.
I mean, everything that he said is exactly how I feel. And I'm looking forward to it a lot. But there's a reason why I have it below Secret Wars. And it's the same reason why, in my opinion, I have Infinity War below Endgame, which is that I think it's going to be the build-up to a grander story, so I don't look forward as much to the setup as much as I do to the payoff.
Okay.
I think Kang is going to be interesting, potentially a really great villain, going to be really fleshed out. And I'm just looking forward to it a lot. I'm curious how they're going to handle everything over the next few years, because I think it's coming up sooner than we expect. It's like 3 years away, less than 3 years away till we get the movie. But I'm excited for this film. It feels like it's been a while. I think people even just pointed out that from the time to Endgame to now is more time than it will be from now to Kang Dynasty. So just think of how long it's felt since Endgame. It's going to be shorter than that until we're already at the next Avengers film. So I think it'll be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I respect that. Okay. And I'll touch more on King Dynasty whenever I rank it. So that's about where I leave that. At my number, okay, let's see. We're at number 3, huh?
Top 3.
Fantastic Four, Guardians. At my number 3 spot, I am gonna have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Exactly like you said it, Ben. The only difference is I was a huge fan of Volume 2 and Volume 1. I feel like if they stick the landing with this, in my opinion, it could be one of the maybe the best trilogy in the MCU. These movies are just so fun, vibrant, beautiful to look at. You can laugh, you can cry. It's just a ride, and ultimately that's what a lot of people look for when they watch a movie, how it makes them feel. And this movie is going to make us feel big time. Everyone saw the San Diego Comic-Con panel where they were up there crying, and they were even telling James Gunn, like, I'm sorry, but we just effing care. We care so much. And even the trailer, seeing the trailer and the music they used for it, I just know it's going to hit. I'm excited. I'm so excited to see Black Panther because I know I'm going to bawl in the theater. I'm going to be sobbing in there. And for some reason, I'm excited to feel that. I'm excited to be in there and experience that and mourn and celebrate Chadwick Boseman. The same way I'm excited to get in and celebrate the Guardians and how much fun they've given us over the past couple of years. So that's why this falls into my top 3. I'm so excited for it. I think the movie's going to be great. No doubt in my mind it's going to be great, especially after Volume 1 and 2, in my opinion. So I know a lot of people don't like Volume 2, which I don't know for some reason, but
yeah, those idiots.
Yeah, my number 3 is Daredevil Born Again. This goes back to my bias. The whole time during The Boys, not the whole time, but there was a point when Aiden said greatest superhero show of all time. And I said that I couldn't quite agree with that. And Daredevil is the reason I could not quite agree with that. Because as great as The Boys is a very close second. The Boys is a very, very close second. Don't get me wrong. But we're not here to talk about The Boys. Daredevil, everything that it did, it shocked me from it took a character that I don't want to say I didn't care about, because obviously I grew up with like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and he'd crossed over sometimes, but I never really found him interesting. It took a character that I didn't find interesting and made me love him in almost every way. And his like rogues gallery, his not obviously we didn't see all of his rogues gallery, but his like side characters like Elektra, I loved that. Seeing him interact with John Bernthal's Punisher, fantastic. So I ultimately have high hopes for this show, and I really am anticipating. I just want to get there so I can decide if it's good or not. I want to get there. I want to see it. I want to see what Disney is offering up. I hope they take it seriously. I hope they know the quality of writing that went into the first the original series, and I hope that they take it seriously. And they've said 18 episodes, which it doesn't exactly worry me, but it doesn't give me like that quite vote of confidence either. I mean, like 18 seems like a lot, but it's more than 6, so I'm happy. But again, it's 18. Like, what are we possibly doing with 18 episodes, So I couldn't quite put it as my number 1 as much as I love Daredevil. I'm really excited to see this. Also, the Born Again thing kind of worries me because they already touched on aspects of that storyline in the original Netflix series in season 3. And so I don't know if this is just a rehash, or I get that it's like the Spider-Man Homecoming thing. It's like a play on words. It's like he's back. He's being reborn in a sort of way. And plus, it also might be touching on the storyline Born Again. So I don't know. There's some confusion shrouding it, but I still have lots and lots of excitement for it.
Yeah. I'm a big Daredevil fan as well. However, I could not put it as low as third place on this
Oh,
list.
okay.
I might get some
Wow.
flack for this. Okay, I'll be honest. My third place is Fantastic Four. I don't know why I just moved my name.
No,
Wow.
that's a respectable spot for that.
I
I
feel
think.
like I feel like I don't have as much connection to the Fantastic Four storyline or characters as a lot of people do, and I'm really fascinated to get more into it. And I think this movie is what will aid that most, especially considering the history that Fantastic Four movies have at the moment. I
Yeah.
am I'm thinking that what could also affect my view on the film is when they finally announce a cast and a director. I think that could also change because from how much people are talking about it and all the rumors, I feel like Marvel is holding this to very high significance. I mean, even when they first announced this movie, I think it was the investor day as well, or I forget when they announced it. They had some sort of big announcement and all they showed was a 4, which was like you'll get this
Yeah.
eventually, but we're teasing it. They're holding it at high significance, which I think they should. So that automatically makes me excited for it. But I think I need to know a little bit more before it becomes like one of my most anticipated Marvel projects. I'm still really looking forward to it though.
I can
Great
respect
points.
that.
Great points.
Yeah, I can totally respect that. I guess we're about to find out all our number ones right now. So,
Yeah.
um, how should we go through all our two, or should we like me give my 1 and 2, you give your 1 and 2,
Yeah,
Ben
one
give
and
your one
two.
two,
I think
one
one
and
and
two.
two.
Just
Because
say
we're
your
all gonna
two
know.
and then we'll just you can talk about both and we'll
All
just go
right.
Yeah.
from there.
All right. At my number 2 spot, I actually have Avengers King Dynasty. So that puts Fantastic Four at my most anticipated out of all of these. Um, Avengers King Dynasty, I'm actually so excited for this. We know the villain, like we were talking about earlier. Secret Wars, we don't. So now we know what all this is leading up to. We know Kang is going to be in Quantumania. We know he's going to be in Loki. We know he might even be sprinkled out a little bit here and there in post-credit scenes. But we know what it's leading to. We finally know what it's leading to, and I think that's what makes me so excited for this. Ben, you said earlier you look at it as a part 1 and 2. I actually look at it as maybe two different, like you were saying earlier. Maybe these are two different teams.
Wait, what?
What?
You just said two very contradictory things.
What?
You
Because
said
you
that I said earlier I said it could be a part 1 and 2, and then I also said something else. I never said it could be a part 1 and 2. I
You
said
said you were looking at this as event Infinity War and Endgame.
that was me. I said but I said I was comparing them to Infinity War and
But
Endgame.
Ben also said that when he put his King Dynasty, I think you were busy, but Ben said he was looking at it as a part 1 and 2, or like as an Infinity War and Endgame. Am I
in
right?
terms of how I should anticipate them with how they play into this overall multiverse saga, I look at them as like two final Avengers films to bring everything to a close,
Oh,
like Infinity War and Endgame.
I
Not that I think it's part 1 and 2.
okay, that's what I took it as you look at this as Infinity War and Endgame, and that's why you put this lower than that, because you feel like this is going to be the build up to the Secret Wars. That's how I took it. Anyways, well, if that's not how you meant it, then yeah, that's on me. But either way, I feel like this could maybe be, like you said, an end for both, for the saga, a big quote unquote 2-part, not literally, but a 2-part end saga or end movie for this multiverse saga. My biggest thing is we know the director. I love him. I think Shang-Chi was amazing. I think the third act needed a little work, but first and second act were perfect in my opinion. I said in my review earlier on TikTok that he can take a ragtag group of people to lead them to some awesome villain and get the job done, whether it's a CGI fest or not, or whether he twisted the villain at the last minute. Either way, we know he can handle this. So I'm excited to see that put into play, and I'm excited to see all the Avengers lead up to Kang, and how everything from 3 and down, and maybe even my number one pick, plays into that as well. I feel like Secret Wars is big, but as like I said earlier, and as even Charlie touched on, I can't put it above Kang Dynasty for that reason. For those reasons that we listed earlier, which is why I have it at my number 2. And Fantastic Four, I'm like so excited for this. So excited for this. Me and Charlie were gushing over it over our casting video and how hype we are just to even see a casting for this movie. That's how you know they have something special, especially after these last 2 movies and iterations. Fantastic was absolutely amazing, 10 out of 10, but the other one, no. They're both pretty bad movies. They're both pretty bad movies, and so to see it handled by Kevin Feige, who I'm pretty sure knows that because he's still looking for a director to perfect this. I'm excited even just to see the casting and the director, but also to see the movie finally. And I'm mad that we have to wait 2 more years for it, but take all the time you need, make this movie as good as you need to. I'm gonna watch it either way. So Fantastic Four at my number 1. I'm excited to see Marvel's first family being brought in. I'm excited to even see who they cast, see all the like photoshops of them in their suits and everything, and just to get even more news about this film. Every single time I hear Fantastic Four news and the word news attached to it, I'm hooked, or any of the 4 characters. So yeah, Fantastic Four, my most anticipated.
Respect it. Troyer said, would you still rank it at number 1 if John Watts was still directing it?
Yes, I would. Without a doubt.
Okay.
I would.
Okay. All right. My number 2 and 1. My 2. Drum roll, please. Fantastic Four.
No.
Yeah. Fantastic Four. Aiden pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like, I am so looking forward to this movie. The Fantastic Four have always been a team near and dear to my heart. Like, I've never really meshed with the X-Men as much as other people have. I do mesh with them, but just not as much as the Fantastic Four. I just love their family dynamic. I love Johnny and Ben just always like batting at each other and stuff like that. I love, this is outside of the
Charlie.
This is outside of the Fantastic Four, but I love Johnny's relationship with Peter, Spider-Man. They always have a great relationship, and that's one thing that's always drawn me to them, because Spider-Man is my favorite character in fiction, and he's always been kind of heavily rooted in the Fantastic Four. So seeing this family come I've always loved, like, I know Reed's kind of a douchebag, like he can get his head up his ass a lot of the time, like, and not focus so much on Sue and whatnot. All of a sudden, Charlie has the best list here. Guardians in One, let's go. Yes. I love Sue, and I love her her want to protect her family, and her drive to, I don't know, always try to be better in a way, I guess, because like her powers like, you look at the team and you think like, oh, she probably has like one of the lamest ones, but like everything she can do with them, like she proves people wrong. And so I don't know, I love it so much. I really can't wait for the movie. I'm, as Aiden said, if they had just come out on during Comic-Con and didn't announce everything that we're talking about right now and just gave us the cast, I would have been happy. Not as happy as I am now looking at all this stuff, but I still would have been very, very happy. I would have been pleased, because I'm so excited to see that cast. I can't wait. And now to jump into the real cake of it all, now to eat the cake. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, bro. James Gunn has spent the last year or so really cementing himself as one of my favorite directors. He knocked it out of the park, I think, with the mini reboot of the Suicide Squad. Again, I talk about how much I care about characters, and like almost every single character I cared about there. I mean, which is weird to say. I say almost every single character, because Peacemaker was definitely one I didn't care about. And then what did he do? He made a TV show and made me care about the character. It's absolutely insane. But James Gunn, I actually want to bring in one of Troyer's comments for this. He said the soundtrack of a movie is so important. Oh, well, he said it to him. He said to me, but I also agree. I 1000% agree because strictly the soundtrack in any given moment of a movie, it can elicit certain emotions compared to a different song. And I think James Gunn knows how to masterfully do that. I don't know if he had anything to do with the trailer that they showed at Comic-Con, but I think most of us have seen the leaks. And that song, even that little 5-second clip that I saw before the original got leaked of just where Baby Rocket comes up on screen, that song that he's choosing, like, oh my God, that ran chills throughout my entire body. Not as much as Wakanda Forever, but Wakanda Forever is phase 4, so we can't really count that. I think I agree with Charlie's list the most. I was just messing around before. Come on, Troy. Get me switch it up like that. But no, yeah, I like the Guardians was a real, just came out of nowhere hit, as obviously back in 2014. And I really fell in love with the first film, and then the second film I didn't love as much. Obviously, we talked about I don't hate it as much as Ben.
Oh my
crazy.
God.
But I really I still enjoyed it. I still think it had a lot for Peter, and a lot for Rocket, especially. And this one's gonna have even more for Rocket, and that makes me so excited. And it sounds like even more for Mantis. They give a little bit of a tease for that. I'm glad Mantis is gonna have more to do, and Peter's gonna be struggling with his whole relationship with Gamora. I love it so much, dude. Everything about this just sounds like it's going to be so fire. I saw what you did, Ben. It sounds like it's going to be so fire, and I just cannot wait. And I'm so glad it's less than a year away. And I really have super, super high hopes for this. And if you're still in here wondering why I didn't put how Ben is going to put Avengers Secret Wars at number 1, if you're wondering why I didn't do something like that, it's just because I don't know. I think that this is going to have a lot more character-driven story, and that's what I love more, me personally. I think this is going to have a lot more character-driven story than something like as big as as grand as Secret Wars. So,
and I will say that's another reason I have Avengers King Dynasty at above Secret Wars as well. I feel like a title like King Dynasty compared to a title like Secret Wars, So I agree with you there.
yeah.
So
Okay.
But I know Ben's about to come drop some.
Listen, it's time for me to defend myself. Okay. Listen, I think this was pretty obvious. Daredevil at 2, Secret Wars at 1. Starting off with Daredevil, it is still my favorite show of all time. I love the Daredevil show so much. And
hold on, sorry to cut you off, but chat, he still hasn't seen The Boys season 3 yet, so just keep that in mind.
Cutting some slack, and he hasn't seen Better Call Saul.
Didn't you literally?
Yeah, no, I said that, but I feel like your opinion might be different than mine. You never know.
Based on the first 2 seasons of The Boys, I'm not too swayed.
Okay, I respect that.
I am a big fan of Daredevil. It's always been my favorite ever since I watched it. But I think the biggest concern is that they're going to make it too Disney. I feel like we're going to see if that's going to be the case as he gets introduced into more things like She-Hulk, like Echo. Yeah. So that could have a lot of determination in how I feel about the show. But I think even just the decision to make it as long as they're making it, like they clearly, I mean, obviously they took some feedback from the fact that people don't like 6 episodes or 9 episodes that are shorter, and probably took the feedback that people loved 13 long episodes. I feel like they're listening very well up to this point, and Marvel tends to listen pretty dang well to their fan base. That's why they're as successful as they are. I feel like they're going to teeter that line, kind of like Moon Knight did, of not quite being as brutal as the original show and trying to find a good balance. That's what's going to make or break the show, in my opinion, is the writing quality and how well they handle that balance. But I'm just excited that it's kind of like Fantastic Four. They understand the significance of a show like Daredevil. You know, they're taking a lot of time, putting a lot into it, making it 18 episodes. There's a lot of significance put on the show compared to a typical show that we've gotten so far. So that's what makes it my number 2. And then my number 1 being Secret Wars. I want to start off by saying that every single reason that you guys gave for having Kang Dynasty above Secret Wars, I 100% agree with. And I would actually use that to say that's why I have Secret Wars above Kang Dynasty. And the biggest thing being character development versus just, oh, big battle with lots of characters, cameos, soup style. So here's my defense.
Jeez, we've done it so much to him.
Sorry. It felt fitting. So here's my thing. Yes, I love the character moments in Infinity War, but in my opinion, I prefer the character moments in Endgame, because rather than just being character development, it is a lot of character resolution from what was set up in the early stages of Marvel. For instance, Iron Man's death, that tied directly into the first Iron Man movie when he was told, you're not the guy, or I guess the first Avengers movie, when he was told, you're not the guy to lay down on the wire. You're not the one to sacrifice yourself for other people. Or back to his first movie when he was told, don't waste your life. Like there's so much closure with his death. That's a big character moment. Captain America finally getting the dance from his first movie set up so incredibly well, all the way to this resolution and passing on the torch. So like those things about like character moments being why you guys prefer Kang Dynasty is exactly the reason why I prefer Secret Wars, because what we're about to get throughout the next couple of phases is going to set up a lot of those things that we're going to see closure in Secret Wars. At least I hope so. That is assuming that they have enough time for character stuff like Endgame did. And I hope that they don't just go for like 2 to 3 hours of just like nonstop action and spectacle. I assume they won't. I mean, I feel like Marvel knows enough that they need to have those emotional moments and that significance. And honestly, I trust them in that because they've done it so well in the past. And then one other thing, I think it was one of you said the question of like, how do we get there? How do we get from where we are to the end of the entire saga with just in the next few years? And my response is another reason why it's above Kang Dynasty, because within phases 4, 5, and 6, we are getting way more projects than we got for phases 1, 2, and 3. So even though it's happening faster, we're still going to have just as many characters, if not more, just as many storylines, just as much development for everything. And yes, not every story is going to have to do with the multiverse, but not every single Infinity Saga movie had to do with the Infinity Stones. But they were all still necessary building blocks, character moments, storylines to get to Infinity War and Endgame. And in my opinion, Endgame was the biggest payoff to the entire saga. So how do we get there? Well, we have 3 phases that are bigger than phases 1, 2, and 3, and Secret Wars is the end to all of it. So I agree completely with both of you. But for the same reasons that I prefer Endgame above Infinity War, I am more anticipating Secret Wars than I am Kang Dynasty.
So sort of, yeah, for the payoff of it all,
of the whole saga.
Yeah,
yes.
That's respectable, and that's something I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even factor that in when I was considering my Endgame argument, because that's a very valid point about like the character ends. But I mean, and I'm not trying to like discredit your point here, because I very much agree with it. My only thing is I feel like there's, aside from those two, I didn't see much else from Endgame, like aside from those two characters getting their end and having that wrap up for a movie chocked full, excuse me, with every character we've ever seen up to that point, and just having like the emotional payoff of just the two of them was a bit strange. I know they tried to throw in Hulks with like, oh, we became one, we finally worked it out, but like you made him a joke and you didn't really let us see why that worked out. And I know, and I'm talking about Endgame now, and we're trying to make this anticipation list, and I'm really not trying to discredit Ben's point here, but that's I guess overall what I'm worried about, because I just don't think with a big cast like that, like they're inevitably going to have for Secret Wars, we're just gonna have Andrew pop in for 2 seconds and be like, oh my god, I miss Gwen, then jump back out. Like, like, is that the emotional moment we get for him? Not that every character has to have an emotional moment. I just think they need to have a purpose for being there,
yeah.
And that's I guess ultimately why I didn't rank it as high as you did.
Yeah, sure. And like I completely agree with you. I would say that there are more emotional moments that I can think of in Endgame, even just, Falcon saying on your left, that callback when Cap is facing everyone and hopeless, that's a cool callback. Peter Parker meeting again with Iron Man, his mentor. Like there are more emotional moments that I can think of that I think are great payoff. And I even think that a lot of any character who didn't get an emotional moment, they're still a character in the Marvel universe and their journey is still going. Like the biggest moments were for the characters where their journey was ending, which makes sense. They should get the biggest emotional moments. But I still think everyone served a purpose. Everyone had a moment to shine in Endgame, just like they did in Infinity War, at least in my opinion. They made sure they balanced the characters very well. And we don't know what that's going to look like, especially with all these variants and stuff. That's where it becomes hard because, it's hard to know if they want us to care about variants that much because, in No Way Home, they put a lot of significance on us caring about those variants because of how much they focused on the relationship between the three Peters. But then like in Loki, they're like, oh yeah, it could just be an alligator. Like, do you really care about alligator Loki all that much? He's just an alligator. Okay, calm down. But I'm just saying, like, it'll be interesting to see how they teeter that line, even with Doctor Strange, of like, how much are we supposed to care about these variants because there could be infinite of them and you could just kill them off. But then there are some that are like, if Hugh Jackman is a variant of Wolverine, people would be really mad if he was introduced and you kill them off. Just like people would be mad if you killed off Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So it's a hard balance to find because people will want to care about certain ones, but then not care about others. And who knows how they're going to handle that. Or just even how many there's going to be. So a lot is to be determined, but
yeah,
I stand by what I said.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, y'all have both hit both points of my argument, so I don't have much to add in other than I agree with what both y'all have said. Me personally, I don't know. I just feel like King Dynasty will probably be the more complete movie. Like
Ben's
movie.
clipping this, bro. As soon as we get to November 5th, 2025 or whatever date it is, he's gonna pull this clip back up.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I just feel like Avengers King Dynasty, it already has a director, it already has its villain. I feel like and it's already sprinkled its villain throughout all these phases. Secret Wars, we don't know anything about. And I think that is a good point that this is the last film in the multiverse saga. This is basically what everything's leading to, which is a good argument to put it at number one. I just think, in my opinion, anticipation for a movie wise, that's why I have King Dynasty up there above it. But your arguments are valid.
Completely. I just want to point out, we said that we were going to have votes at the end, right? Troy already cast his.
Here's what I think we should do.
He casted his for like all of us. All his
he said no. Look what he said. Look what he just said.
He said best top five. Best top five. Which, to be fair, okay, this is kind of biased because if somebody likes your top five, they're probably going to disregard the rest of the list and just say it's the best list. That's how it works usually. It's like, oh, they have this at their number one. I agree with them.
That's true.
They don't care about the 16 and 15 as much as they do about the 1 and 2.
Hey, Troy, just remember I put Guardians at number one, okay?
Here's what I think we should do. I'm going to change the names at the top to like list 1, list 2, and list 3. I'm going to post it on TikTok and let everybody vote.
Will too.
And we're going to give it.
That's a great idea.
We're going to give it a couple of days and we'll come back and we'll count the votes.
That's a fantastic idea.
Okay. Thank you, Troyer. My statement is complete, and thank you everybody for watching.
Hayden, look at one of his past messages. He says, "Ben, you have the best list here."
That was his other personality, though. This is his main one. Look at what else he said.
This is his main one.
But look at what else he said.
Damn, Kim said I have the best list. Yo, and Dovin. Let's go.
Dovin,
post it on TikTok.
Streams.
Post it on TikTok, bro.
I'm gonna post it.
Do it and see how much people say List 2, Loki, Blade.
Yeah, I know, bro. Somebody's gonna look at that and see Avengers: Secret Wars at 8. That
I'm
guy's
just saying,
mid.
Aiden and I did not have a conversation beforehand. I wrote
That's
this.
what you say. That's what
You know what?
say.
You know what is funny though? I was looking at my 1, 2, and 3, and then look at your 3, 4, and 5, and then look at my 4 and 5, and your 1 and 2. It's literally just switch it up.
There's so many patterns within both of our lists
it's
that
crazy.
tie to each other. But okay,
I'm going to die if somebody comments, "Yo, 1 and 3 are basically the same."
Oh my god!
I'm going to die, bro.
I mean, here's
Troyer,
I'm a big
what?
fanboy Customs to call me biased.
What is happening?
Big ups, Dobin. Thank you, brother.
It's the Guardians. Hey, I'll just say I had Guardians at 3, and I did not have Loki and Blade that low. So actually, you know what? Let me actually go. I need NLE in here, bro. He would definitely pull through for me.
Here's the thing that you're not allowed to do. You are not allowed to tell people which list is yours.
All right.
We're just gonna do list 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll see what the people vote.
Let me see. I'm about to catch everybody here in 4K.
This might be my first like floating head post or floating word post in a while. I'll just take a screenshot of this. Which list you think is better?
I'll save it and send it to you guys.
Yeah, please.
I will. But I'm not gonna point. I'm gonna talk.
No, I know. I was kidding.
Yeah, he's making fun of me. Everybody,
are you kidding me?
Please,
no. If anything, I was making fun of everybody because we got Troyer in here. We got
he was making fun of Aiden, which is why I
listen. It was jokes.
That's why I prefer Charlie's list above Aiden's.
Whatever. We'll see what the internet thinks.
Damn,
yes, everybody go to Charlie's stream if you're watching this on replay or listening on audio. Everybody go to Charlie's streams, and while you're at it, go to Ben's cinematic dissection.
He's like,
okay, everybody go to
what is happening?
Everybody go to Ben's podcast and listen to cinematic. Me and Charlie are actually on the Nope episode. If you want to hear Charlie,
have a just dropped today. Actually, you guys, if you've seen the movie, listen to that for show.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to bring up in that I really wanted to mention was the motorcycle ride with Kiki Palmer. I told Aiden this already, but that was like a fantastic scene.
That was sick.
Like that was like exhilarating to watch.
Yeah, that was
yeah, if y'all are listening on replay or y'all watching right now, everyone, Dobin, Cam, Troyer, NLE was even in here, Madison, shout out
shout out
Madison, Jay was in here, everybody who was in here, like, and even if you're still watching, thank you so much. But yeah, Ben has a podcast that we were on. I'm on a couple episodes. If you love movies, go listen to that. Charlie streams on Twitch.
We're about to start streaming Minecraft.
Dude, wait, we're talking about streaming it? That'd be so sick. I'm so down. I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. I'm down. I'm down.
I think I'm making YouTube my home.
We'll have Twitches. We should all stream it. That'd be sick.
And so yeah, everybody go support everyone in here. All their links are in the link tree in the description, so you can go there right now, actually. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna post this one on here, and I'm gonna talk about each list. That's a good idea, Ben. That's a good idea.
I'm not gonna say much. I'm just gonna say a few of my friends ranked phase 5 and 6. Which list do you agree with? And then that's it.
Should we tag each other or no? No, don't tag each other.
Just let people cast their vote.
Well, they're gonna figure. Wait, hold on. If we all post the same picture, they're all gonna be like, "Oh, okay." You know,
they won't know which list is list.
We have in common. No, yeah, you're right. But like, no, that's what I mean. Like,
different audiences too.
Yeah, but so the crossover is gonna be like, "Oh, okay, Aiden just posted this. Like, this is kind of weird."
That's fine. They'll figure it out, but they still won't know who's whose. So it's not like it's gonna be biased.
Troyer, do that now.
No, we want to start. We want to start a Minecraft server.
Yeah, tell it to Brendan. He usually he's good about getting everybody together.
Yeah. So we'll post that. Everyone, if you're listening right here and you plan on commenting which list is your favorite, don't spoil it. Just comment whose list you like the most,
And be
then
honest,
leave it at
Troyer.
that.
We don't
And
need
be
none of that.
honest.
I like 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I like 2 a little bit more right now.
Troyer's gonna post it as well.
Oh, hell yes, dude. Get as many eyes on this as possible.
The actual most unbiased votes.
But yeah, that about does it for our phase 5 and 6 ranking. This was a ton of fun. I'm glad we did this live. It was up in the air before we started, and then I was like, let's go live, which is why we were late, Dobbin, by the way. I didn't even have my camera,
I'm just kidding.
my light on this whole time. Well, there we go.
It's still illuminated.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our phase 5 and 6 anticipation ranking. Like I said, you can find Ben on TikTok at Aspire Entertainment and Cinematic Dissection on anywhere you get your podcasts. This was actually a podcast episode from us, Words from the Nerds podcast, here on this channel. If you're not watching live and you're listening on audio, we just did a video, like I said. If you are watching the replay and you're busy right now, or you'd rather just listen than look at our beautiful faces, then we have that anywhere you can find your podcast. It's just Word from the Nerds. Every episode that's on here will be on there, except for the live stream we did for Comic-Con. So, Ben, do you want to kind of leave us off on a thought?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna win the vote. I don't know how many days should
he's
we
he's riding that Secret Wars at #1, bro.
let...
People are gonna see that, and then they're
You're
gonna
not...
be like, "That's a W, bro."
You're writing Guardians at 1. Aiden's writing Fantastic Four at 1. Listen, it goes all ways, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna let the people speak. I don't know how long do we say? When do the votes stop? Are we saying like a day, 2 days?
After the video dies.
Wait, are we posting this like right now, or are we gonna wait till like tomorrow?
The video?
Yeah, are we gonna do like a late night post, or like...
I was gonna record it
TikTok
directly after this.
Okay, all right, perfect.
I'll do the same then.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
How about, because tomorrow I think we're recording again. Yes. How about tomorrow when we record again?
We'll pull up
That's
votes.
when we'll pull up votes.
Yeah, and should we live stream that one also?
We could.
It'd make
What's
it
that
easier.
one? The draft thing? Okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow, if you're listening on Spotify, it would actually be today. Or if you're listening on replay, it'll actually be today. Yeah, or if you're listening on Spotify, yes, because I'm posting this on Spotify tomorrow. If you're listening to this on audio, the day it drops, which would be July 27th, we are also live streaming tonight. So July 27th, Wednesday, we are live streaming, drafting our favorite Marvel movies, NFL style. So we'll even pull up the random wheel, have it spin, see whoever gets the first pick, see whoever gets the second and third, and go from there. And we can even put that up and see what people think of that and see who has the best Marvel movie list. And yeah, so that would be a lot of fun. So if you're here, all 7 of y'all, come back tomorrow. Same time, probably about 8, 7. We'll figure it out, and it'll be up on YouTube. And we won't be late this time. And you can see us live draft our favorite Marvel movies. Yeah, Dobin will be there, so y'all should be there too. Alrighty, so there we go, Dobin. Hell yeah, baby.
He does. He does.
W. Thank you, Ben.
I sent him the list on Discord. He said he would post it if I sent it, so I did.
All right, there we go. And that's about all we have for tonight. Charlie, any last minute thoughts? And then you can take us out of here.
No, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in for a live stream one. We want to start doing this more often. So we appreciate all you guys for showing up and chatting, keeping it interesting. Yeah, seriously. It means a lot to us. Like it was kind of just a run of the mill idea by Aiden, and we all just agreed to it. And so I'm glad it worked out though.
Well, Ben actually brought this one up.
To live stream it?
Oh no, the concept of the podcast.
Yeah. Ben brought up the concept of this one, and then Aiden was like, "Hey, let's stream it." So, and I kind of just rode along. I was like, "This is cool." But yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow with our little draft thing that Aiden is setting up, and then yeah, thank you guys so much. This has been great. We'll see you tomorrow. Ben will be back too. It'll be a really great adventure. But for now, Adios.